Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope your weekend is good so far. I really appreciate all the patience that this audience has had with me. For those of you who just pop it in who may not have known, this is a rescheduled show. Unfortunately, we had a really bad storm, a remnants of a storm that came from the Caribbean, and we had to reschedule the show because we didn't know if we would lose power. Fortunately, we did not lose power, but we did get a lot of rain. We got a lot of trees down, etc. But me and the family are safe. So I want to pray for all the people who may have experienced some type of property damage or anything like that. I haven't heard of any loss of life, so that's a good thing. But let's pray for people who may have had a worse time than I did. But I do thank you guys, my audience, for being patient with me and understanding that I had to put the family first and the personal safety of myself and my family first. And hey, I'm a man of my word. I told you guys I'd see you on Sunday, and look, we're here. It's Sunday and we're doing our thing. So before we get started on today's interesting content, where we're going to be trying to figure out if there's a connection between the Cox family and Stephen Stearns, two people who committed horrific acts of CSAM production in the same community. What's the odds of that? I mean, this stuff is happening all over the country, all over the world. Okay, probably more so in other countries than in the United States, because the United States, it happens, but we have rock hard, solid, very penalistic laws on dealing with people who engage in the production of this type of material. But it happens in America, but it happens even more around the world, right? But what's the odds of it happening in the same community, ladies and gentlemen, the same community? We're going to talk about, we're trying to figure it out together. We're going to try and figure it out together. Before we jump into that, though, I want to show you guys something. I want to do a little housekeeping stuff, okay? Number one, we do have Strategic Eyes merchandise. You guys know the Strategic Eyes Show is trying to survive in an era where YouTube is constantly demonetizing our videos. They probably will demonetize this video because I'm going to read for you one of the 800-page document dump. I think people have overlooked this, but I'm going to read for you an excerpt of it that's going to be very graphic. So trigger warning right now, we will be reviewing some very graphic material. We're also going to go through the entire federal indictment of the Cox brothers family, the father and the son, but only the father because the son killed himself. We are going to most likely get demonetized today. So I know some people don't like when YouTube channels advertise the things that they have to offer. This is the only way we survive, ladies and gentlemen. This and the membership is the only way we survive, the only way I can keep coming here and justify making videos instead of working overtime in my day job, instead of spending time with my family. This is what justifies it. Your support when you go to our store and you purchase our merchandise, of which after Teespring gets their cut, the rest comes to the Strategic Eyes Show. As you guys can see, we've been listening to you guys. We've been listening to your input, and we have shows like Let's Keep Going. Up here we have the Strategic Eyes Show, Voice of the Voiceless. I love this shirt. It's one of my favorites. But believe it or not, I'm going to show you what is my favorite item on here. It's actually one of the cheapest, but it's my favorite item. And that's the Strategic Eyes die cut sticker. So it's a sticker that's cut around the words, Let's Keep Going. This one is my favorite. For some reason, I'm in love with this sticker. I love it the most out of everything. The Strategic Eyes, Let's Keep Going motto, die cut sticker. It's my favorite. Isn't that crazy? Like I should say, oh, that's hoodie for 40 bucks is my favorite. But in all actuality, the truth of the matter is this $6.99 sticker is my favorite item. So please, guys, come over to the show, support the channel, and go over to the merch shop, show us love. The last thing before we get started is, guys, we appreciate all the new members that we have. We have tons of new members for the show. The membership is definitely worth the money. The lowest tier is 99 cents. We have higher tiers. If you want to join at a higher tier, you get more benefits as time goes on. We're going to be offering even more benefits to the higher tiers. But the lowest tier, the introductory rate to get into the membership, to get exclusive content, to definitely really feel what it's like to be a part of the Strategic Eyes family is 99 cents. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. 99 cents to become a member of the Strategic Eyes Show. So consider becoming a member like so many other people have done before you, and you will truly understand what it is to be a part of the Strategic Eyes show. All right, we're about to get started soon, guys. I want to go to the comment section and show a lot of love to Sugar Magnolia. Thank you, Sugar Magnolia, for the $5 super chat. Says, happy Sunday from League City, Texas. I love it. I love Texas. That's one of the few states that I would consider retiring in. Most likely it's not going to happen because I got to stay where the family's at. I want to be where my kids, I have to see where my kids want to go as they become adults, where they migrate to. Hopefully it won't be too far away from me, but that's where retirement will take me, where I can be next to my grandkids and my kids and watch them grow older and help raise their grandkids to have our values, a value of hard work, a value of being honorable, and a value of caring for people who cannot care for themselves, speaking up for people who may not be able to speak up for themselves. Those are the values I want to be the legacy of the Strategic Eyes family. All right. Now, I think we've showed love to everybody in the comments section. All right. We're looking good over here. Great, great, great. We got Aki in the building. Yep, Aki is in the building. I got my moderators in the building. Appreciate you guys. All right, let's get started. Once again, trigger warning, guys. We're going to be talking about graphic stuff. We will try and be as respectful as possible. Well, we're always respectful. We're not going to try and be respectful. We will be respectful of the material and the people involved. And I will try and change some of the words so that we don't get the backhand of YouTube, because YouTube likes to backhand me. I've never been in a domestic violence relationship until I joined YouTube as a creator, because YouTube loves to, abuse their creators. And maybe I shouldn't use that as an example, because domestic violence is real and it's not a joke and it's not something should be toyed with. I know better than that, so I apologize. But that's the only thing that my spirit could think of to give you an example of what it's like to be a YouTube creator. So I'll try my best to change the words around on these affidavits that we're going to be reading, but they will be graphic, so trigger warning for that. And lastly, I don't have to tell my moderators. They already know what I'm looking for, but we want to keep this a safe environment where people can express themselves, but we want people to be respectful, and we want people to not engage in trolling. So if you engage in trolling and you're not respectful to your fellow community members, you're out of here, okay? I'll leave it up to my moderators to decide if they want to give you a warning or just delete your comment and correct you or something to that effect. That's up to them. I have full confidence in my moderators. But if you are in here being an a-hole, I'm sorry, you got to go, because this is not that type of party. We are giving the voice to the voiceless. We don't have time for ignoramuses to come in here and stir up trouble and just be bad people overall. All right, I was just about to get started, but I got to acknowledge three more people, so my apologies. Sherry Yelverton is now a Strategic Eyes fan member. Thank you for joining the family, Sherry. And Design It. Wow, that's I think I could surmise you like to design things, right? Design It is now a Strategic Eyes member, fan member as well. And Melly with a $1.99 super sticker. It says vibes. I love it. Thank you for showing love, Melly. Melly's already a Strategic Eyes member. We appreciate you. All right, let's get started. Let's get started. All right. I want to play some videos to bring you guys up to speed on these guys. And then we'll start continuing. Adam drives Helen with a $1. Not $1, a one-person gift subscription. And who's the lucky person? House Music got that gift of membership. So make sure that you tell Adam Drives Helen, thank you for that generous gift to give you a membership. That's out of their pocket. This is not stuff that comes out of, space. This is Helen, Adam Drives Helen, coming out of his pocket and gifting you that membership. So make sure you show that love. All right, let's get started.
Developing tonight, Homeland Security agents, law enforcement officers, and the medical examiner all flood into a community in St. Cloud.
Yeah, we've learned they were investigating a father and son accused of producing child porn. The son shot and killed himself before.
Okay, So if I say that, I'm going to get demonetized, but the news can say that. But we just want to say the word is CSAM, Channel 6 News. It's CSAM. That is very inappropriate what you just said. Let's keep going.
Federal warrant could be served. News 6's Catherine Silver was out on Countryside Drive today, speaking with neighbors shaken by this investigation.
I don't think anybody else lives there.
We were talking to neighbors on Countryside Drive when we noticed a man and a dog outside the home at the center of a federal investigation.
Hello? Excuse me?
By the time we got to the door, no one answered. Tuesday, this house was raided by Homeland Security, and James Cox appeared in federal court. Neighbors tell us he went by the nickname Santa. Documents show he and his son, Henry Cox, are accused of distributing and producing child porn.
I keep waiting to hear, no, it's not true.
That neighbor we spoke to did not want to show her face on camera, but she told us it's shocking.
So you knew James and Henry?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've talked to Jim and Henry for years. They fished in my backyard. They've played with the kids in the neighborhood.
Investigators do not share the identity of victims in cases like this. What we are learning from this criminal complaint is this investigation started when St. Cloud police received a cyber tip in November. In January, they found hard drives with explicit images when they...
All right, so I don't know if the next video I put up is going to explain what that tip is, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it for you guys real quick, all right? These guys were extremely desperate to obtain CSAM material from other people and to share the CSAM material that they were producing with other people, okay? And then we're going to get into Stephen Stearns in just a little bit, but you guys got to know who these people are because we've spoken in depth about Stephen Stearns and Maddie Soto and Jen Soto. We have, other channels have as well, but not that many people have discussed this family. And if there's a connection, I don't know, we're going to discover this together, okay? So that's why we're taking the time to explain to you who these people are, because it's important. I can't just say, who do they have a connection with Stephen Stearns and only talk about Stephen Stearns. You must know who these people are. So they were actually posting material that they made themselves. Somebody saw the material, recognized the man's face, one of the Cox's face, the son. I believe his name is James. It's Henry and James. We're going to look it up, just make sure my mind deceives me. We'll see. And then they turned it into the FBI, said, hey, this is a Cox family member that's producing this material. And then the FBI got them. There wasn't like some in-depth kind of like federal takedown or investigation that resulted in them getting caught. No. It was a concerned citizen that saw the guy's face and heard his voice and remembered his voice and knew his face and said, yo, this is a Cox family member. All right. So these guys basically got themselves in trouble. Thank God. Thank God. Right. Now, before we jump back in and let this video continue and watch the next video, I forgot to mention this. It's big. It's a very important part of the show right now. This is going to be a call-in show. We got 180 people watching right now, and it's going to probably be more as we keep going. We'll probably end up with around 200 to 300 people. This is going to be a call-in show. The number has been pinned to the chat. If you can't see that number, please let the moderators know, and they'll post it in the chat. And moderators, please go ahead and periodically post that number, even though it's pinned. I want people to call in. This is your opportunity to talk to Strategic Eyes about anything Maddie. Anything Maddie. Anything pertaining to this topic matter, any questions you have about Maddie, any theories. This is not a show where we'll tell people that a theory is dumb. There's no such thing as a dumb theory. This case has not been adjudicated. That means that we don't have all the facts. And a jury has not made a determination of guilt or innocence in this case. So there's no such thing as a dumb theory. So this is your opportunity to dial in. We are using Skype. So if you want to Skype in and you want to show your face, you can do that. But I do have a Skype phone number that I'm paying for that you can dial in like a regular phone call using your cell phone, using your computer, using whatever it is you want to use, and your audio can be used, okay? So number one, call in. Let's talk. Let's get to know you guys as audience members. Don't be shy. Nobody can see your face. Unless you go out your way to do a video call, nobody will see your face. Dial in and we'll talk. I'll tell you guys when we're going to do that. Token says, I'd like to call in. Sure, then get on the list. I'll let you guys know when we're going to start that call in. But we got to get through all this material first. We'll do the call in at the end of the show, all right? And lastly, it's going to be first call, first taken. There is no waiting list. We're not sophisticated like that. We don't have a producer that you could call and be on hold while we wait to bring you in. It's whoever calls in first, they talk. When we're done, the calls open up again. You call in, we'll talk. If you're disrespectful, I'm not going to debate you, whatever. We're just going to bang the call on you. We're going to hang up on you. All right? If you call in, you're cursing, you're weirdo, you're saying weird things, we're just going to hang up on you, okay? I don't argue with people. This is a time to talk about Maddie, talk about this case, hear your theories. All right. That being said, lastly, a few more things. I'm sorry. I got to acknowledge these new members here. So we have a $1.99 super sticker from Trish Myers. Thank you so much, Trish, for showing love to the channel. We have, and Trish Myers not only sent us a sticker, but also became a Strategic Eyes member. So we have new member, Trish Myers. Thank you, Trish, for supporting the channel so many different ways. You are appreciated. And then Sherry Roberts, who's already a Strategic Eyes member, has gifted 5 Strategic Eyes memberships to lucky people in the room. Sadie's mama, Rosalie Labario, Bari Bella 107, Claire, and JMK have all been gifted Strategic Eyes memberships. So I hope you enjoy, guys. And some of those people are return members. So good for you. You're lucky you got gift memberships. All right. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, guys. Let's keep going. Anybody else before I get started? And Ella Blow is a member for 1 month. Congratulations. Thank you for sticking with the family. Lillian Perez is also a member as well. And Ivana Stonojevic. I'm so sorry, Alana. I just butchered your name and I apologize for it. But Alana sent us a $2.49 sticker, and that is I believe a pound or a franc or something like that, and I think the pound is worth more than the US dollar, so she gave us more than $2.50. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, now let's get back into this. You guys are so generous and so kind.
They searched the home, and some of the videos captured Henry's face and voice.
Roped off crime scene, and then I heard too that there was a dead body removed.
St. Cloud police say Henry Cox took his own life before a federal arrest warrant could be served against him and his father Tuesday morning.
Of course he did.
James Cox is in custody in Seminole County.
He's a
Catherine
coward.
Silver, getting results, News 6.
All right, so of course he did because he's a coward.
The Department of Homeland Security raided the home yesterday, and tonight we know it is part of a child pornography investigation.
Screwing up like big time. All right, here we go. Actually, the next video I went to is the video I was going to play, so it worked out, whatever. So, yeah, of course he did. So he killed himself right before he was going to be arrested. He's a coward. And all these folks, if you're going to prey on children, naturally, of course, you're a coward. You are a coward of the tallest order. You're a degenerate. You're the worst person on the planet if that's what you choose to do. There's a lot of people, believe it or not a lot of people as in it's like a large percentage, but there are thousands of people who are attracted to children. We should never accept them in our society. We should never accept this. I know there's a push for these MAPS people. Is that what they're calling themselves, guys? People have brought it to my attention before. Like they call themselves MAPS or something. Minor attracted persons or something. Yeah, these maps should never be accepted in society. This is not an acceptable thing. If you want to study it from a scientific perspective and acknowledge that it exists, okay, we can do that. I'm all about science. But these people should never be accepted as though this should be something that's forgivable or understandable, or it should get some sympathy or something like that. But there's a lot of these people running around in this world, and most of them do not act on these desires, these degenerate, malformed, psychopathic desires. I don't care if you're born that way. Something's wrong with you. You need medication. You need to be treated. You might need to be castrated. I don't know what the solution is. I'm sorry to talk about you that way if you've never done anything to a minor before, but those feelings that are inside of your soul are disgusting. I'm sorry. But these people exist. But the vast majority of them do not do anything to children. You have a choice in life. You have a choice in life. And this coward chose to not just abuse children, but abuse children in his own community that he has been entrusted with by his neighbors. Let's go to the next video so you guys can get the gist of what's going on.
Investigation involving a father and son. Good evening, I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. That raid happened on Countryside View Circle near Canoe Creek Road, and neighbors tell us they saw dozens of law enforcement and actually a body removed from this house. Channel 9's Chantel Navarro is live in St. Cloud. And Chantel, there are some deeply disturbing details in this case about this father and son.
Yeah, and the two people are not only father and son, but they're two people that the neighbors really knew well. One of them, James Cox, used to dress up as Santa Claus. He'd approach a lot of the children here in the neighborhood, and they were all kind of familiar with each other. This is a home right here behind me. We saw teams return today with two cargo vans bringing out large bags. Unclear right now if it was evidence or not, but documents show the men had cameras secretly set up inside.
All right, so check that out. What does that county say, ladies and gentlemen? I know you can't see it, unfortunately, because my body's in front of it, but it says use 9. You can see the 9 to the right of me, and it says St. Cloud, Osceola County. Same county, ladies and gentlemen, same county. Keep that in mind. Let's keep going.
Inside the home where they recorded children in the neighborhood naked. This is a view from Sky Witness 9 where you can see Homeland Security entering the home of James and Henry Cox. Inside, agents discovered Henry dead and arrested James on child porn charges. Investigators say Henry killed himself before the search warrant could be executed.
Just shocked because we visited with those guys for years. Number one, and number two, they've always had kids around, their grandkids and neighborhood kids.
The investigation began in November when St. Cloud police received a tip that someone was uploading child sex abuse material. Later, they learned it was of two children who live in the neighborhood. Some videos contained sexual battery. Other material showed a young boy using a public restroom. In all, the U.S. attorney...
All right, so the one thing is when they say sexual battery, I don't believe that any of these children were actually raped. I believe, and thank God, they probably touched the children. I think considering, we're going to read this complaint, but I haven't read it yet. I wanted to save it so I could have a live reaction with you guys. But I think it was, these guys are kind of like tricking the children to get naked, maybe like, hey, you know, we have some new clothes for you. Want to try these clothes on? Take your clothes off and try these clothes on. Children are naive like that. They'll be grateful, like, oh, I got a new outfit. This is great. Might have been something like that, or oh, you have let me help you use the bathroom. Oh, you need me to help wipe you or something because you're a young kid. I'll help wipe you or something. And then the children's are exposed, and maybe they're touching the children's butt or something. I don't know. I because battery is not full on RAPE, right? Or even it's just a lesser degree. And so I think that that's what we're working with, but we're going to read the arrest document. And of course, it's going to go into details into exactly what the feds are charging them with. All right, so let's keep going.
Attorney's office says federal agents collected 15 electronic storage devices believed to have belonged to Henry Cox. And on it, more than 50 photos or videos. Neighbors say James Cox was friendly, known to dress like Santa all year round and approach children. They were horrified to learn of the charges.
There's a pile of kids that live in the house across the street, too.
Yeah.
And I feel like they should have told us, don't tell us any details, just say, be careful with your kids.
You know, I'm always suspect on people who like really focus on children, especially when they have their own kids. So this father-son duo, James and Henry Cox, they had an adopted son that had children. I don't know, you know, you're dressing up like Santa, you know, all the time, and you're specifically focusing on the children. I'm always going to be like suspect of somebody like that. If it's Christmas time and it's a tradition that you have a specific day that you come out during Christmas time, dress as Santa, let the kids take pictures with you, hand out toys, that's one thing. But when it's happening, you know, all through the Christmas season, all the time, and you're constantly seeking out the children, that's a problem. I think these parents should have did a better job protecting their children from these men, but I'm not going to victim blame. It is what it is. These predators are predators for a reason. They find a way to get what they want, even though people might be trying to be vigilant. Before we move over to the arrest documents, I just want to acknowledge a few people in the chat. You guys know on the Strategic Eyes show, we appreciate you guys. So we acknowledge our chat. We acknowledge people who donate to the show, who are members of the show. So I'm sorry I got to stop it again, but I got to show love. So Panda Place is a 1-month member. She's celebrating her 1-month anniversary. And she said, time flies when you are having fun. I can't believe a month has gone by. Thanks, Strategic and Mods, for your hard work. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you, Panda. Panda has given a lot of gift memberships as well, so we do appreciate you. And Trish Myers, who's also a member, had a very nice thing to say about the show. She says, I love Strategic Eyes. My mom and I watch everything you put out. Your professionalism, perspective, and definitely your humor is awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much, Trish Myers, for supporting the channel. We do appreciate it. We definitely need the support. The channel is growing. We get a lot of people show up when we're talking about topics like this, and Maddie, etc., and Stephen Stearns. We have 302 people here watching right now concurrently. But we also need people to understand we produce other videos other than this stuff. And in true crime, for us to survive, we need your support. So please consider being a real supporter of the channel. Don't just come up here. You know, I mean, we will take it. It is what it is. We want to spread the word. It's not just about us. It's about Maddie. So you could come up if you just want to watch about Maddie, okay. But there are other victims that need your support too. There's other tragic stories that we need to bring awareness to. So we'd like it if you'd watch those shows as well, because we need the word to go out there. We need to give a voice to the voiceless, okay? I know some people find this Maddie thing salacious. I don't cover it because it's salacious, and I cover it because I'm heartbroken that Maddie was killed. I cover it because I get PTSD when I talk about this show, because I see this stuff in my real life, in my work. You know, Maddie reminds me of so many other victims that have come across my desk, that I've had to put the same work in that those detectives that's investigating Maddie is putting in, right? I have Maddie's right now that I'm investigating, minus the death part, because if it's death, it goes to homicide, and I don't investigate homicides. But I have live Maddie's right now that I'm investigating. And so when you see the passion that I put into covering Maddie, it's the passion I put into my work. And it's the same passion I put into the other stories that we cover. So I hope that you support those stories as well. So let's keep going. Let me bring the video back to me. And I want to just set up the shot now so we could get in. We can go ahead and get into the affidavit. All right. Once again, trigger warning, guys. You know, I'm going to sit up. When I got to read, I got to sit up. Trigger warning. It's going to be graphic. I'm going to try my best to replace the words and stuff like that, and not be too explicit, okay? Try my best to not be too explicit. Big shout out to JPL, Jay the Stella, who's a Strategic Eyes member with a $10 super chat. We really appreciate you. One of these days, I'm going to fix this OBS setup where we can actually post these super chats and these members on the screen so people can see it rather than have to go to the comment section. I'll try and take care of that in the next few days or weeks, but there's got to be some way for me to program this application to do that. I see other creators do it. You guys are the lifeblood of the show. You hit me right here in my heart, and I want to make sure you get as much acknowledgement as you can get. All right, let's jump into this. United States District Court, Middle District of Florida, Orlando Division. I've only done 2 cases with the federal government so far. One is pending, and one resulted in the first civil rights sex crimes conviction in New York State Corrections history when I worked for the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision as a senior sex crimes investigator with the Office of Special Investigations. So, yeah, you know, we definitely had a really good case, and it was really nice working with the feds. The second time that I worked with the feds, Homeland Security stole my case. No disrespect, and much love to them. I did the case, put it together, alerted them that the guy had fled the country, and they're like, oh yeah, we like this case, we're gonna take it. All right, so they took the case. The guy decided to fly back to the country to abuse the child again, and they got him at the airport, and now he is facing 35 years in prison for the production of CSAM material. So that's a really good case. I really enjoyed doing all of the legwork on that case. You're welcome, Uncle Sam. And it was really cool when they took the case and didn't even want to let me participate. They just was like, thank you very much. Yeah, no, you really don't have to be there for the apprehension. It's all good. You know, it happens. It happens. But we're not here for our own egos. We're here for the victims, and justice is being served in that case. And without the federal government, I would have never been able to catch that guy because the European country that he is from refused to extradite him. We spoke about that with my county attorney. We reached out to, you know, the feds, and they reached out to that country, and that country was like, nah, we're not extraditing. But luckily, the country did not notify him that we were after him. So he came back on his own accord, and then we were able to get him in the airport. So that was justice well served. And he's not convicted yet, but I think he's got serious problems waiting for him. Big shout out to Wendy Williams with a $2 super chat, says much respect, love, and support from North Carolina. Thank you so much. You are amazing. All right, let's get to this affidavit. All right. Affidavit support of complaint. Albert Grooms, being duly sworn, do hereby depose and state the following. 1, this affidavit is submitted in support of a criminal complaint against James Cox Jr. This is the surviving guy. This is the father, right? Because remember, the son ex-nated himself when the feds came knocking on the door, okay? He took himself out of contention, all right? So let's keep going. Specifically, knowingly transporting, receiving, and distributing CSAM material, and Henry Cox, violation, specifically production of CSAM material. Yeah, even they're saying CSAM. So why isn't the news seeing CSAM? Because the feds are saying CSAM now. Okay. 2, as set forth in more detail below, I believe there is probable cause that on September 14, 2023, in Osceola County, Florida, J. Cox did knowingly transport by uploading to Microsoft CSAM material. 3, as set forth in more detail below, I believe there is probable cause that January 28th, 2022 and July 4th, 2022, sorry, just check this real quick, make sure everything is good. All right. Sorry. I believe there are probable cause that between January 28th, 2022 and July 4th, 2022 in Osceola County, Florida, H. Cox, it's Henry Cox, produced CSAM using any means or facility of interstate or foreign commerce. 4, I am a special agent employed with the Department of Homeland Security investigations, have been employed since June 2015. And I don't want to just skip over anything before we finish. Let's get to that page. Just want to let you know, this is like the criminal complaint, whatever, but we're reading the details. So I don't want to make you think that I'm skipping over anything that's probative, okay? Let's keep going. Employed since June 2015. I'm currently assigned to Orlando, Florida office of HSI, and my duties include the enforcement of federal criminal statutes, including but not limited to Title 8, 18, 19, 21, and 31 of the United States Code. I am a law enforcement officer of the United States, meaning of 19 U.S.C. 140I, and employed to investigate and make arrests in violation of United States criminal laws within the meaning of 18 U.S.C. 2510, subsection 7. 5, my formal education includes a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from American Military University and a master's degree in human services counseling, criminal justice from Liberty University. Do numerous advanced law enforcement training. All right, let's get past his qualifications. I have received specialized training in investigation of sex crimes. I participated in training courses for investigation and enforcement of CSAM material. Let's keep going. Number 6, I've been employed in investigations involving CSAM, the creation of CSAM, and online solicitation, enticement of juvies. I have participated in investigation of persons suspected of violating federal CSAM laws. And additionally, I've authored and participated in the execution of search warrants involving searches and seizures of computers, computer equipment, and software and electronically stored information. Let's keep going. Okay, so this investigator is well trained and qualified to do this investigation. Let's keep going. 7, because the affidavit is being submitted for the limited purpose of establishing probable cause for the issuance of a complaint, I have not set forth each and every fact learned during the course of this investigation. So what is a probable cause statement? Let's do it now. Come on, give it to me. 8, on November 15, 2023, St. Cloud Police Department received a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, alleging an unknown person was updating CSAM material to Microsoft Bing Image. Interesting. Microsoft Bing Image, referred to as Visual Search, is a service that allows users to provide an image and search for similar images on the internet. Could this have been a Microsoft employee that did this? The user can provide an image to be searched by either an upload or as a URL. The date time provided on the cyber tip indicates a time at which the image was received and evaluated by the Bing Image service. I think Microsoft is the one who did this tip, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going. The cyber tip provided the following information regarding the uploaded files it was reporting. I think Microsoft is the one who sent this tip over. So there's the image with the IP address and all that good stuff. Now let's keep going. The cyber tip also identified the manner that these files were identified. According to NCMEC cyber tip and the information provided by Microsoft for each of the target files. See, Microsoft is the one who did that. So he uploaded it to Bing to do a reverse image search, see if he could find other images similar to the nasty CSAM stuff that he had. And Microsoft was able to detect that it was CSAM material, and then Microsoft reported him. Let's keep going. The match identically to hash values of images reviewed by Microsoft content moderators. So Microsoft, the company, is the one who discovered that he was uploading this material. Based on training experience, I know that the hash values or automated values that are associated with digital files and can be identified in company data, metadata company files. A hash value will remain the same for a digital file that is unmodified, and when files are modified, the hash value will change. A consistent hash value can be used to show that the content of a digital file such as image has remained unmodified. Also know that service providers have systems in place to automatically identify certain hash values associated with digital files that have been previously identified as CSAM material as a means of flagging without individually reviewing CSAM material. Wow, that's interesting to know. That is very interesting to know. Wow. So 11, along with the NCMEC cyber tip explanation and flag on the CSAM also provide the online target files 1-4 to SCPD. A detective with SCPD reviewed target files 1-4, confirmed they can contain the following. All right, so here's a description of what we're going to see. I'm going to try my best to censor this because this will get me demonetized if I do not censor it. All right, let's do it. Target file 1 is an image that depicts a juvie female without clothes, the waist down, lying on the ground, showing private areas. This is terrible and disgusting. I think you guys can read this. I don't even want to read it. And you guys know how we do on the Strategiceyes show. You know, we just say it like it is most times. I don't even want to read it. Let's keep going. There is a white substance consistent with a male's reproductive liquid. Coming out of the baby, the juvie. Excuse me, not baby, juvie. Target 2, an image that depicts a same type of juvie sitting on a rock without clothing. showing themselves. Target 3 depicts a same type of juvie sitting on a rock, showing themselves. Target file 4, this guy was insane to put this on the internet. Literally. He was literally insane to put this in a search algorithm. This guy is insane. Thank God he's insane, because we were able to catch him and his father, and he did us a favor and saved us the expense of sending him to prison for a significant amount of time by offing himself. Thank you very much, Henry Cox. Thank you. We do appreciate you for your service to society by saving us the cost of housing you. But let's keep going. Target number 4 is an image that depicts a similar juvie without clothes, showing themselves with the same type of substance from a male as described before. Number 12, a detective with FCPD served Charter Communications with a subpoena regarding IP1, and Charter responded with the following information. All right, so they basically subpoenaed this guy's information and they got it. 13, SCPD reviewed Florida's drivers and vehicle information form. So now they had identified both the David and Henry. James and Henry, and they identified where they lived. 14, on January 17, 2024, a judge for the 9th Judicial Circuit Court of Florida approved the Florida State search warrant for the subjects. This search warrant authorized law enforcement to search the subject's premises. All right. Any structures and vehicles or motorhomes on the property, seize electronic devices, and to conduct an on-site and off-site search analysis, or to delegate the search and analysis to an off-site computer forensic analyst. All right. So they got their search warrant. Before we go to more of this, we're halfway through. It's 12 pages, and we're at the 6th page. Let's go to the comment section real quick, show some love to you fine, beautiful people. We have to acknowledge when we get new members, and that we do have. Heaven's Whisper is a new Strategiceyes fellow for the Strategiceyes show. We are changing the names of the membership, so if your names change in the next coming days after it's approved by YouTube, I have them more aligned. The top level, you will be a part of the detective squad. The fellows will now be Strategiceyes White Shield. We're aligning it with real law enforcement names. And the lowest tier, you will be a recruit. And the tier above that, you will be patrol. We have 4 tiers. So the lowest tier is going to be a recruit. The 2nd tier is going to be patrol. The 3rd tier, which is what Heaven's Whisper is right now, which is very generous for her to support the show. She's paying a decent amount of money at that tier. She will soon be a White Shield, and the 3rd tier will make her, or whoever decides to go to that last tier, I'm sorry, the 4th tier would be a member of the detective squad. So look out for that. And thank you so much, Heaven's Whisper, for supporting the channel. You are amazing. Yes, we have 415 people, by the way, who are in the room, who are watching this chat live right now. Please hit that like button. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to the channel. All right. K-Max says 8, just found you and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Let's keep going. All right. 15. On January 19, 2024, SCP executed the search warrant was executed at the subjects. So guys, you don't know that this stuff was actually done by these folks at this point. You have the IP address, you have all the information. You know that it's highly likely that somebody in the house is the one who searched for the material, who rather posted the material, who produced the material and posted the material, right? But you don't know that it's really them. Somebody could have done that to set them up. Somebody could have spoofed their IP address and be in Yugoslavia right now. And it looks like it's coming from the Cox's house. So you would not just go arrest these folks. You have to get the evidence first. So they got a search warrant to get the evidence, right? In the event that they did this search warrant and they found absolutely nothing, they'd still continue their investigation, but there might come a point where they have to say, we have the wrong people. They would probably pay for more deeper forensic searches, maybe send it to the FBI or something like that. Maybe hire an outside forensic company to make sure that the IP wasn't spoofed. But you might have to drop your case and say, you know, I think we got the wrong people because we seized all their computers, we seized all their phones, and we find nothing. We don't even find them ever even using Bing, right? So you got to keep that in mind. You can't just go in and arrest these folks. And that's how the Sun was able to off itself, because the search warrant was done first. Then they have to find the evidence. Then they come back and say, all right, we found the evidence. Let's arrest these guys and let's interview them. So they knew that the cops would be coming back for them. And the Sun was like, I'm going to end myself, right? So I just want to bring you up to speed on how the investigation works. You know, they're doing the search warrant first because they can't really prove that these guys did anything wrong. All right, let me just check this one message. All right. Thought that was from Wifey, but it was from Google advertising Gemini, which is their new AI or whatever. Don't hit me up when I'm doing a live. Google, what's wrong with you? All right, let's keep going. So they executed the search warrant on the premises. J. Cox and H. Cox were seen leaving the residence in separate cars and were subsequently stopped by patrol officers. Best case scenario when they leave the house, because you know you won't have an armed standoff. So that was best case scenario. You do your car stop, you detain them away from the home, and you have free run of the crib, and you know that the house is safe. So this is good stuff for the law enforcement officers who were dealing with this at the time. All right. They made contact with them in their separate cars outside of the subject's premises. J. Cox admitted to possessing the images, which triggered the cyber tip. J. Cox should ask for a lawyer, you dummy. But whatever. J. Cox also admitted to a post-Miranda interview to looking for CSAM on the internet and using Microsoft Bing Image to look for similar CSAM images. J. Cox, this guy was addicted. He really was addicted. That it was affecting his common sense. J. Cox was shown 2 images which triggered the cyber chip. J. Cox acknowledged it and initialized that those were images he had seen and used to search for like CSAM images online. Oh my God, this guy's basically gave a full confession. He literally gave a full confession. SCPD also spoke with H. Cox, who in a post-Miranda interview denied any involvement in knowledge of CSAM being possessed. 17 SCPD seized multiple electronic devices from the house because J. Cox and H. Cox were stopped outside of the scope of residential warrant. SCPD obtained a second search warrant which covered electronic devices from their persons. 18 from an initial forensic review of the devices retrieved pursuant to the search warrant. SCPD determined that H. Cox had been producing videos of CSAM focused on the exposed private areas of juvies. In some of, let's keep going, the videos, the face and or voice of H. Cox is captured as a person recording the video. Wow, he is really making this stuff. Like, he's just not getting stuff off the internet. He was making it. All right. SCPD was able to identify 2 of the juvies in the videos as a juvie at the age of 1-2. And a juvie that's even younger that live in the community. Very, very, very troubling stuff. A forensic analysis was completed by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office on the computer J. Cox stated he used to look for CSAM. SCPD was provided with the forensic results, which show hundreds of thumbnails of images of children of CSAM, and the results also showed 3 videos which were deleted from the computer that were able to be recovered. One video depicts 2 juvies doing CSAM, and one video depicts juvie doing something terrible and having something terrible done to them. I'm not going to read it out. One video depicts a female just doing an adult female, just CSAM stuff. Terrible. 20. HSI Orlando took custody of 15 electronic storage devices believed to belong to H. Cox for full forensic analysis. To date, HSI community forensic agents have found over 50 photos of videos of CSAM and meet the federal definition of CSAM. A review of these files indicated that some of the files were created in the bedroom known to be occupied by H. Cox. Some of the files contain other indications that they were produced by H. Cox. The following are examples of CSAM files produced by H. Cox. All right, so now we already been exposed to how graphic this is. We're not going to read these examples. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to put this on my Patreon. And the reason I'm putting it on my Patreon is not because I want to make a buck off of this. You can search this up yourself, but because it's the only place I can host safely this affidavit. There's nothing wrong with this affidavit. There's nothing illegal about this affidavit. I don't want to sound like I'm hosting something bad. But I can't put this on YouTube, all right? So I'm going to put it on the Patreon. If you want to go to the Patreon, you want to read it, you can do that. If you want to search for it yourself and obtain it yourself, you should do that yourself as well. But I'm not going to read this description, so we'll fast forward until we get to more of the affidavit, okay? So they gave target file number 5. It then goes to target file number 6, target file number 7. Well, actually, let me read it real quick to make sure it's not that bad. It's bad, period. But, you know, it's not too graphic is what I should say. Okay. Okay, so what he's basically saying and what they're laying out in what they're laying out is a lot of the stuff that he produced was basically just voyeuristic. Like he's basically taping the children while he has hidden cameras, and he's taping the children while they're getting dressed and undressed and stuff like that. Still CTAB material, but I haven't seen anything that's crazy beyond insane, like what we've read so far. Okay, let's keep going. So it's all in that vein. You guys definitely go ahead and read it for yourselves. All right, let's keep going. 21. Seagate Ultra Touch hard drive that was seized by SCPD during the execution of residential search warrant has markings on the back of the hard drive that indicate the hard drive was manufactured in Thailand. PNY micro SD cards are manufactured in Taiwan. All right, let's keep going. 22, a review. We're almost done with 12 pages and we're at number 10. 22, a review of the EXIF data associated with the CSAM images on H. Cox computer. Storage device indicates that they were taken with a camera recording device, some of which were observed as Green Plus and GE Digital. Keep this in mind here, because the Strategic Eyes research crew sent me some material that has that same thing, which were observed as Jenner Plus and GE Digital camera A730. I want to see if there's a connection. I'll come back to it because I don't want to stop the show for me to look for this. But keep that in mind. That's peeping and pop back in my brain. Maybe I'm wrong, but I believe the Strategic Eyes research crew sent me information that Stephen Stearns might have been using the same exact technology. But don't take my word for it. That's in the back of my brain. I gotta look for it to make sure. Let's keep going. And they were not seized during the initial search. They were executed by SCPD at the subject premises. So they didn't take that initially. Some CSAM media was observed to have been recorded from a partially obscured device at the floor level in the bathroom, pointing at the toilet. Other observed CSAM materials were taken of a sleeping victim, indicating the clandestine intent of the recordings. Additionally, during the execution of the search warrant at the subject's premises, SCPD seized a white light bulb camera, which is believed to be a covert recording device. These guys were really doing everything they could to secretly record these children. Conclusion, based on the above, I submit that there is a probable cause that on September 14, 2023 in Osceola County, Florida, J. Cox did knowingly transport by uploading to Microsoft CSAM. Based on the above, I submit that there is probable cause that between January 28, 2024 and July 4th, 2022, Osceola County, Florida, H. Cox produced CSAM using any means a facility of interstate or foreign commerce. I'm sorry. And that's the end of that. Boom. Let's make sure we have nothing else. All right, no, we already did that, so we're good. Bring it back over here. Let me bring it back to me, guys. I apologize. I got to set us up for the next stuff. All right, how we doing in the comment section? Guys, make sure you hit that like button, support the channel. If you're watching right now this live stream and you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And lastly, once again, guys, please do me a favor and become a member of Strategic Eyes Show if you can. We have a lot of people who have been given gift memberships. We hope that those people will continue to become members after their gift membership has expired. And the lowest tier for the membership is 99 cents. Once again, you can be a Strategic Eyes member for 99 cents. Okay? I think with tax, it comes up to like $1.07 or something like that. Everything has tax in America. You may not be taxed in your foreign country if you becoming a member internationally. There may not be tax, but I believe U.S. citizens are taxed $1.07 is the total amount for the Strategic Eyes membership at the lowest tier. So please consider becoming a member of the Strategic Eyes Show. I want to go ahead and bring this up. I want to bring this over here. Do want to bring this over here. Hold on here, guys. Give me a second. It's in my email, and I don't want the email to give out any information for the research crew, etc. So I just have to turn that into a PDF. So I apologize for the delay, guys. And then we're going to move on because we got interesting stuff for you guys. So hang in there. Hang in there, people. Hang in there. This is the Strategic Eyes research crew material. My research crew is amazing. These guys, they're amazing. They are amazing. They're passionate about this stuff, guys. Absolutely passionate. You cannot be a part of the Strategic Eyes research crew if you're not passionate. There is a litmus test. All right. There is a litmus test. Somebody just sent me an email about their concern about me disagreeing between the differences between molestation and rape. And I'm going to definitely read that. And I really appreciate you sending me this email. And I'm actually going to do, and this is, when I talked about that stuff, I'm talking about the common knowledge that we use right now. Not to go off course, we're going to get back on this. I just want to say that there's a new law that's been passed in New York State called Rape is Rape. And I'm going to actually do a show explaining that new law. And I think that new law should be adopted nationally. It should be adopted nationally. And just very briefly, that new law basically says that there is no differentiation between putting a finger in somebody or anal or oral. It's all going to be considered rape on September 1st, 2024 in the state of New York. And so I'm going to read what this person who emailed me this email. Let me see how long it is. It's very short. It's actually one sentence. I wish they'd go into more in depth. But they just said, I don't know if this is an angry email or if they want to start a dialogue. I wish people would be more open to having dialogues instead of just venting. I am not the person who did anything to you. I'm just a person. So you have to have a conversation. You can't just rage at somebody. I hope I'm not reading it incorrectly or whatever. Because oftentimes when you rage at somebody, it turns them off. They're not open to what you have to say, even though you might have something very valid to say, you know? So, but we have to learn that as people to talk to each other, because this person may have disagreed with what I said, but in the time between when I said those things and now, the new law is kicking in, and I've read that law, and I've read the methodology of why the lawmakers decided to change the law in New York State, and I agree with it. I do think there should be no differentiation between somebody, what was classically assumed as molestation and what is classically assumed as rape. There should be no differentiation, and I agree with that new law or whatever. But yeah, you know, I'll email this person and hopefully we can have a dialogue and an understanding. But I just want to say this in general, people, we're adults, okay? And I know a lot of adults walk around with a lot of trauma. It's just a part of being a human being at the end of the day, I guess. But you get nowhere when you rage at people. I'm upset because you said this and you did that. What does that accomplish? The better thing is to say, hey, listen, this is why I disagree with you. This is my personal experience as to why I have the opinion that I have. What do you think? What's up, buddy? Love you, all right? Doing a great job. That's the better way of going about these things. That's the better way of changing minds, changing ideas, expanding minds. Okay, that being said, the reason why I went into my email in the first place is because I'm looking for that information that the Strategiceyes research crew sent me. Is this it? Okay, cool. I was mistaken. All right, I'm mistaken, so let's jump into the next thing. Wow. My apologies for that. I was mistaken. They used the term green something, and my subconscious said, is that the same camera? But it's similar wording, but it's two different things that we were talking about. So that connection is not there. All right, so let me go and pull up the next bit of information that we have for you guys. It's really good stuff here. Wow. All right, perfect. Let's pull that up, put it over here. Make sure that there's no identifying information here. All right. So, you know what? I'm just not gonna I'm just gonna read it out for you guys, okay? I'm gonna read it out for you guys. Set it up over here. I'm sorry. There's so much I'm doing on the back end. I really do sincerely apologize, guys. All right, so these guys are making videos. They're making videos. They're taking pictures. They're putting these pictures up on the internet. These guys are searching for like-minded people. They're searching for like-minded people. They're searching for people that they can trade with. They're so engrossed into their addiction. They're so engrossed into their addiction for looking for that gratification that they're getting out of this material. They're willing to take risks. And just a few miles away, Stephen Stearns doing the exact same thing with Madeline Soto. I want to read for you page 35 out of the 800 document dump. Usually we put these things on the screen, but it's in my email. I'm not going to go find it in the dump. I have the dump, but I'm not going to find it in the dump because it'll take too much time. So I'm reading the excerpt from the dump, which is the entire page in its entirety that the Strategiceyes research crew sent me just for expediency, okay? I want to read that for you guys right now. Page 35 from Stephen Stearns' court case. Starts out saying, during this time, it was discovered Jen Soto's vehicle. Oh, man, don't tell me it got cut off. Oh, my gosh, I'm so sorry. This thing got cut off. Pissing me off here, guys. Not happy. The technology is literally getting on my nerves, ladies and gentlemen. Let me find it again. We find it again. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. During this time, it's discovered Jen Soto's vehicle had been driven on February 27, 2024, between the hours of 03:27 and 04:25 hours. That's in the morning. General Soto's vehicle had also traveled on February 28, 2024, between the hours of, I think they tried to say 6:42 and 10:55 hours between US 192 Southwest to Northport, Florida. So I guess he took Jen Soto's video. That answers the question about that whole situation where where Stephen Stearns went home. So now that answers our question, guys. So the Strategiceyes research crew also answered a really big question that we had from our last live when we talked about him going to the mother's house. We talked about the mother lying, pretending like she did not see her son. Of course she saw her son when she knew that at 3:19, somebody was in her house. Make it make sense. Anyway, so apparently he drove Jen Soto's car to Northport. Let's keep going. After Stearns' phone has been successfully downloaded, the morning of February 28, 2024, Sergeant D. Stemenik, within the Digital Forensic Unit, contacted Corporal Avila to advise him there was CSAM on Stephen Stearns' phone. During a review of the pictures, we observed several images that contain Madeline Soto engaging in mouth stuff on Stephen Stearns. I hope that's censored enough. Then full on I can't even think of like an alternative word to say, but full on stuff, right? With Madeline Soto posing nude in these pictures. The background was readily identifiable, and we're able to determine these incidents occurred at Jennifer Soto's Florida residence. The whole gamut of things is happening to this little girl. And supposedly, mommy does not know. I'm sorry, I know this show is not about Jen Soto. But how can she not know? How could she not know? All this stuff was happening under her watch in her house. Big shout out to Lisa Always for the $5. I keep saying $5. I'm sorry. For the 5 gift subscriptions to the Strategic. I'm sorry, I'm tore up right now. I can't even speak, but I had to acknowledge somebody who's contributed to the show, but I can't even speak. So let me collect myself. Because this stuff is so troubling. It's so disgusting. Let me collect myself. So big shout out, Lisa. Thank you for the gift subscriptions to the show. Hope you guys enjoy it. And big shout out to Ashley Larson, who gave a $5 super chat. MS Sasha, who's now Strategiceyes fan member. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to the show. Wow. How could she not know? How could she not know? Big shout out to David, moderator for the show, longtime supporter of the show. Big shout out, David. Let's keep going. In a picture located on Stephen's phone, we observe a black mark near the tip of his pee-pee. At this time, the Kissimmee Police Department was advised of the findings, and Detective Corporal Brandon and Detective Mark Morris responded to the Central Operations Center. The search warrant for Jennifer Soto's residence was served on February 28, 2024 at approximately 800 hours. In the residence, detectives were able to locate several items observed in the CSAM images located in Stephen Stearns' phone, which is great because they were able to corroborate that this is in fact where it happens. While conducting the investigation early on in the afternoon of February 20, 2024, members of Jennifer Soto's family requested to travel to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations Center to attend the sheriff's press conference. Jennifer Soto and Stephen were offered a ride by Detective Hunt and Acosta. They agreed to the rides and were driven separately. Upon their arrival, Detective Corporal Ilgen, Detective Morris, and I made contact with Jennifer Soto. Please see Kissimmee case number 24-001-809 for further details. This is riveting stuff here. I've never read this before. This is riveting. As we spoke to Jennifer Soto, members of the Violent Crime Squad, VCS, continued to canvass the area for video surveillance. Prior to finishing the interview with Jennifer Soto, I was advised the VCS had located video of Stephen discarding something in a trash compactor, located the apartment complex on February 26, 2024 at 7:35 hours. In this video, they observed a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat of the vehicle. The female appeared to be completely slumped over and with her mouth ajar. At this time, Detective Bellardis established custody of the trash compactor until Waste Management arrived for their regularly scheduled pickup. Detective Bellardis then followed the trash compactor to 4978 LB McLeod Road, Florida, where the compactor was empty. Contact was made with Waste Management District Manager Antonio Roman, who provided a separate area for the compactor to be empty. Antonio was provided an approximate date and time that Stephen Stearns was seen throwing a tire into the compactor. Based on that information, Antonio was able to provide an approximate location where the tire would be located in the contents of the compactor. So it's good collaboration with Waste Management, that they're cooperating with police and that they are able to determine where trash is going to be located at the time that it's located to help police locate these items. It's very good collaboration between the public and the private sector. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. All right, let's keep going. The Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics Unit responded to the location, was able to locate the intact tread of a tire, which they advised matched the tread pattern of the rear passenger tire of Stephen's vehicle. In close proximity to the tire, the crime scene investigator located a white trash bag that contained a black backpack with what appeared to be purple Hawaiian print and a white crock. What do you guys think that belonged to? Who do you think that belonged to inside the backpack? SCIS located an Orange County Public School computer with Madeline Soto's name on it. Why would he throw out her computer as well? Why throw out her school computer? That's very interesting. Why throw out her school computer? He just throw it all away. Like, why discard everything that belongs to her? What sense did that make? He could have very well just, I don't know. He could have, because he's, I get it. Because he said that Maddie left his car and went to school. So why would he have that stuff in her possession? It makes sense now. It makes perfect sense. That's why he discarded it, because he couldn't have it on him, because then it'd kill his story where he said that he let Maddie go to school, that he let her off in the church parking lot and she went to school. I understand. Based on this information, it was determined that the backpack and its contents belonged to Madeline Soto. The forensic unit collected the tire, the backpack, and the crock. Upon reviewing the evidence, it was determined that Kissimmee Police Department would be taking the lead and the case was subsequently turned over. The Orange County Sheriff's Office remained active in a support role. Detective Corporal Ilgen and Detective Morris conducted a video and audio recorded sworn interview with Stephen at Central Operations. We haven't got that video recorded interview yet. I hope we get it soon, by the way. I hope it's released and we can actually do a deep dive into it. After Stephen's interview, the Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics Unit responded to the interview room. One of the Central Operations Central in a reference to DNA search warrant for Stephen. During this warrant, the CSI took several pictures of Stephen Stearns' body and penis and collected all his clothing. You're really supposed to take pictures of the penis and stuff like inside of a hospital. It's very interesting that Florida allows them to do it inside of a police station, but you're supposed to do it inside of a hospital. It's supposed to be done by a medical professional. You have the search warrant, you bring it to the hospital. A safe CERN nurse is the one who actually does the search of the body and takes the pictures of the subject. But, you know, every state has their own policies and procedures, and that's what they do in Florida. I get it. Let's keep going. All right. Ooh. Detective Junko and I located black mark on Stephen Stearns' pee-pee, which was consistent with the pee-pee pictures in his cell phone. Pictures of Stephen Stearns' scar on his right wrist were also taken. Let's keep going. And when I say words like PP, guys, anyone who's just popping in, listening to this right now, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to find words that will not be censored by YouTube, that we will not result in us being demonetized. That's the only reason why I'm saying something like that, okay? Let's keep going. Seven was taken into custody for the arrest warrant authored by detectives with the Kissimmee Police Department for battery, that other type of battery, that is, and possession of CSAM material. Following an interview and search warrant, Jennifer Soto vehicle was towed to the Central Operations Center. Of course, her vehicle became evidence. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Very interesting stuff here. Okay. 463 people in the room right now. Please hit the like button. Don't forget to engage inside of the chat. That's what helps us get thrown out there into the algorithm for more people to see the show. So please throw thumbs up. If you don't have anything particular to say, at least say where you're calling from. Say hi to the chat. Say hi to the moderators. The moderators are very nice people. They love to be acknowledged. But please say something in the chat and make sure you're hitting that like button so that we can be placed into that algorithm and start to definitely, wow, I'm still torn up by what I just read. Start getting attention from a wider audience. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was crazy. All right, guys. So the Coxes are making this material. They're trading this material on the internet. They're looking and they're searching for like-minded people. On the other hand, Stearns is making similar material, if not worse. Stearns is sharing this material, in my belief, on Telegram, which is it's a messaging service that was created to defeat totalitarian dictatorships so that people could communicate and they could organize under these regimes. But because of its security features, scrupulous characters have been using this to anonymously trade CSAM material, ladies and gentlemen. And Stephen Stearns was on Telegram. Now, Telegram is not widely known as a platform for the things that Stephen Stearns was interested in, like the trading of games like Warhammer 40K, the Tamagotchi toys and stuff like that. The things that Stephen Stearns was his hobbies. People don't typically go on Telegram with those hobbies. There aren't a lot of groups for those hobbies. The groups for those hobbies are on Reddit. And we saw that Stephen Stearns was very active on Reddit. On the other hand, CSAM material is readily traded on Telegram. And Stephen Stearns was on Telegram. And Stephen Stearns was not just recording videos of what he was doing to Maddie, he was also posing Maddie. He was taking pictures of Maddie. Why was he doing that, if not to share? Now, I got to tell you, I don't know if there's a definitive connection between the Coxes and Stephen Stearns. There's also not been any reporting that there's a connection between the two. But could they have been connected? Could they have known each other? I don't know. I just gave you all of the facts. I gave you the arrest documents. I want to know what you guys think. So at this time, I want to open this up to call-ins. So moderators, start pumping that number for me, please. The number's also pinned. It's pinned to the chat. Let me make sure that this number's actually up there. I want to make sure of it. I want you guys to know that I am not going to, your number will not be shown if you call from your personal cell phone number. I'm not saving your number. I have no interest in saving your number. I know there are crazy people on the internet, but I don't have time to be crazy with you. Be crazy with you. If you call up, the only thing that will be heard is your audio. So now is the time, ladies and gentlemen. I want to get some people who are going to call in for this call-in show. I want to hear what you think about this Maddie case. I want to know what your theories are with the connection between the Coxes and Stephen Stearns. I want to hear from you. That number's posted up there. (518) 639 518 639 6283 518 639 6283. This is the Strategic Eyes number moving forward. It's totally anonymous, so you ain't gonna find nothing about me if you search it up. Not that I care anyway, you know, I'm not hiding. I am who I am. Big shout out to, let's see here, go over here. I want to give a big shout out. Big shout out to Dr. J. Bradley, working for DOD in Naples. Thank you so much for your service in whatever capacity you're serving the Department of Defense. Love your channel and your passion for the victims. And thank you for that $10 super chat. You are amazing. Thanks for pumping that. For the moderators, thanks for pumping the number. So we're waiting. We're waiting for somebody to call in. Okay. All right. Thank you. Didn't have to wait that long. First of all, who's calling?
Hello, my name is Valeria Cami.
Okay. Before you say anything further, I just want to make sure, can you guys hear her in the chat, guys? I just want to, before we go any further, I just want to make sure you're heard. So any thumbs up in the chat that you could hear her? Thumbs up. We're waiting. All right. So we got a thumbs up in the chat. All right. So say your name one more time because it just sounded a little bit fuzzy. I want to make sure I get your name correctly. What's your name again?
Valerie.
Valerie. All right. Thank you, Valerie. Valerie, how long? Say again?
It's Valerie.
Okay, great. How long have you been watching the Strategic Eyes show? I'm just curious.
I started watching your show about 3 months ago.
All right. Great. I appreciate that. So, Valerie, do me a favor. What do you want to talk about? Talk to me.
I just want to, everything I want is Jen Soto to go to jail. That's why I'm following you. I love when you get upset at this situation, and everything I want is Jen Soto to be on jail. I cannot believe they're still not calling her up to put her in jail. She needs to go to jail. That's what everybody wants.
I agree with you, Valerie. I don't know if I'm flattered that you like when my pressure goes up, but I agree with you 1,000%, Valerie. I think, you've been with us for 3 months. You've seen me rant, rave, scream, like you said. You love when I get angry about Jen Soto, but I don't want innocent people to go to jail. All right, and I don't know if Jen Soto was a willing participant in the abuse of Madeline Soto. I don't know. But what I do know from the bottom of my heart, Valerie, is that Jen Soto was a negligent parent. And there is a charge for that in Florida. There's a charge for her allowing, not even allowing, because allowing is like a child comes to mommy and said, hey, Ma, I'd like to go sleep in the bed with Stephen Stearns. Or Stephen Stearns like, hey, honey, I'd like to sleep in the bed with Maddie. And then she says, all right, go ahead. That's allowing. No. From her own testimony and her own account, she would send them to bed together. She would say, I got a headache. I'm feeling depressed. Or my bipolar is acting up. Or I have work in the morning. Go sleep together so I can have a good night's rest. That's what she testified to. And that is negligence. And I pray, and I think you're praying with me, Valerie. I think we're praying together. I pray that the officials in Florida do the right thing by Maddie and her legacy, and they give her justice by charging Jen Soto at the very least with child abuse. At the very least for her negligence in not protecting Maddie. For like I said a million times before, and I'm going to say it a million times again, for sending the lamb into the lion's den. What did she expect would happen when she sent her pubescent daughter? Well, she sent her when she was prepubescent, but especially when she became pubescent, when she sent her pubescent daughter into a bedroom with a grown man to go to sleep in the same bed. What did you expect, Jen Soto? I know you're watching, because we got 417 people watching this live right now. So I know you're watching right now, Jen Soto. At least I hope she is. I know you're watching, so I'm talking to you, Jen Soto. What did you expect? I know you're supposedly grieving right now because you lost your daughter, even though you didn't take care of your daughter when you had the chance. What did you expect, Jen Soto? What did you expect? Anything else for me, Valerie? I'm sorry, I went on a tangent right there. What else you got, Valerie?
No, I love your passion, and yeah, we're praying together, and just keep it like that. And I love your show, and yeah, we're praying all together until we see Jen Soto on jail. And I know she's watching you, and I know family is watching you, and she needs to know that everybody wants to see her on jail.
Right. Thank you so much, Valerie. Appreciate your call. Keep with the show, man. We're only going to get bigger. We're only going to get better. And I'm only going to get better as a presenter because, remember, I'm an amateur doing this. I'm not want to cry or whatever. So thank you so much, Valerie. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye. All right, awesome. Very nice of you, Valerie, for calling in. Thank you so much. So you guys see how that worked, right? Totally anonymous. Valerie called in. She told us only what she wanted to tell us about herself. Oh, we got another call coming in. Answer it. All right, so we got multiple. All right, so whoever's calling right now, put your volume down for your computer. All right, sorry, we lost that last caller. Put your volume down on your computer so we can't hear the reverb.
All right, sorry, we lost that last caller.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Put your volume down on the computer.
Okay.
Perfect. How you doing there?
How you doing? Put your voice down on the computer.
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, but can you do me a favor? I can still hear echo. You have to turn off the volume for your computer. Okay. All right, so we lost her. Looks like we're having some problems. All right, so guys, when you call in, make sure that your volume for your computer is down so we can't hear the reverb. So it's not like an echo. All right. But dang, I see that so many people are interested in calling. All right. So here we go. One more time. All right. What's going on?
All right. What's going on?
Hi there.
There. How you doing? What's going on? What's your name?
Beverly Taylor.
All right, Miss Taylor. Thanks for. Well, you sound like you from the country, Miss Taylor. Where are you from?
No, I'm calling from Savannah, Georgia.
I knew you were a Southern belle. I can hear it in your voice. I'm calling from Savannah, Georgia. It's a unique accent. I love the accent. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and taking time to call in. How long have you been with the Strategiceyes show?
I've been watching your show for about 2 months.
Great. What do you got for me? What do you want to talk about?
Well, the only thing I want to say is I've been tracking this Madeline Soto case for months now, and it's a travesty. And, you know, in my unprofessional opinion, I don't think there is any way that the mom didn't know something was going on. And even if she claims she didn't, there's no way she's not complicit in the abuse and even, you know, the ending of, you know, a minor child's life, and regardless of, you know, whether she was directly involved or not.
What I want to do is I'm just looking for the definition of negligence in law. So the definition of negligence in law is failure to exercise reasonable care. Negligence is a failure to exercise reasonable care in one's actions or omissions, which may cause harm to others or their property. Negligence is a basis for tort liability. So that's when we're talking about civil stuff. But with negligence, even if you don't know necessarily that something's happening, if your actions help that thing happen, you're still guilty of it. It's basically you should know that by engaging in certain activities, that something bad is going to happen. So I see somebody else calling in. We can't let you in right now because we're currently on a call. So try calling back again after. Well, let me see if I can put person on hold. I know, but whatever. I can't.
I just had one more question.
Sure. No, we're not rushing you. We're gonna talk to you, and then we'll move on. All right. So don't worry. No, everybody's important here. People will have to wait, and I appreciate the enthusiasm for other people who want to come on. All right. So I agree with you 1,000%. We may never know if Jen truly was involved in the actual abuse of Maddie, all of the horrible things that we've described on this show and others. We may actually never know, but what we do know is that she should have known that it was a possibility that this could happen if she allowed her daughter to be placed in certain circumstances. And that's where I 100% agree with you in the spirit of what you're saying, that even if she didn't know, she should have known. And that is the definition of negligence. So that's why I'm saying hashtag lock Jen up. We're going to take some political terms. We're going to say lock her up. Lock her up. What do you got for me? I'm sorry. You said you got one more thing? What's the other thing?
One question. So if she was just charged with mere negligence, wouldn't her punishment be, minimal? I mean, I think there needs to be a much more significant repercussion and accountability for her. I think a lot of people probably share the same sentiment.
Right. So I think when I last checked it in Florida, because every state has different laws, different punishments, it's punishable by up to 5 years. I think that there are aggravating factors if it results in of course, bodily injury and death and stuff. She would never do life in prison. I'm a law and order guy, and I believe in the people. And these are the laws that the people wanted to establish. Do I think that her circumstance should result in more prison time? Absolutely. But this is what the people of Florida have codified into their law. For me, justice is not necessarily the amount of time that you do. Of course, depending on what you do, you deserve a lot of time. Like Stephen Stearns deserves to die. That's my position based off of what he did. But for me, justice is the process. And for me, I feel justice is served if we acknowledge and we can call her out in the public square, which is our judicial system. You were wrong, Jen. You failed Maddie, Jen. And now you're guilty of failing Maddie. Now, if that judge says, hey, listen, I'm going to send you to probation, it is what it is. It is what it is. But at least it's on the record that you're a failure and that your failure caused the death of this child and you're complicit in it. That, to me, that's all I'm looking for. That's it. So whether it's 15 years, a year, or no time at all, I just want Maddie's legacy to speak that mommy was guilty.
At least something on public record.
Right. Absolutely. That's where I'm at.
Right.
I appreciate you calling in.
Okay.
You're amazing.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, thanks so much for all you're doing out here.
Thank you for supporting the channel. I couldn't do this stuff without you guys. All right?
You're welcome. Thanks.
You have a good one.
Bye.
All right, the phones are open now. Whoever calls in first gets in. So I appreciate you if you want to come through. I know people were trying to call in, but I can only do one call at a time. I think there might be a way to put people on hold, but this is my first time doing this, so I'm just not that sophisticated yet. I apologize for that. I wish I could put people on hold. It'd be easier to go to the next call. But if you want to call in, please do call in now. And while you have the chance, I would love to hear from you, hear where you're from, hear how long you've been with the show, and definitely hear what you have to say about this case and any questions you might have about the process of the case. You're talking to somebody who deals with this on a daily basis. So there's another one. All right, you're on the show. How you doing there?
Hello.
What's going on? How are you?
Hi, Strategic. I am on your channel. I love it, and I just want to say, I believe that Jen knew, and I believe that she's an accessory to the murder of her child. And I am praying that we get justice for our dear Maddie.
I hope so too.
And I am thankful for you and some other channels that are keeping her in the limelight. and keeping her name out there. And hopefully something from this case will help others in the same situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't realize that. First of all, what's your name? What name would you like to be called by?
My name is Tony.
Tony. And
Tony.
Where are you calling from, Tony?
I'm coming from Central Florida. I'm only about an hour and a half from where this happened.
Oh, man. If you ever pass by there, you let me know. I'll cash app you a couple dollars to put a little rose next to that crime scene for me. I wish I could go out there and visit the site and pay my respects to Maddie. But anyway,
right now they're moving the site, and they have not announced where it's going to be. But when it does, I'm going to try to get out there.
That's beautiful, and I think Maddie would appreciate that, and for the people who love Maddie, they'd appreciate that too.
Yeah.
We have to keep her name out there. But I want to pick up on something that you said. A lot of people don't realize that it's not just about us talking about true crime and kind of like trying to figure this stuff out, get to the bottom of it, which is a pastime and a hobby for many of us. It's about keeping her name out there, because Maddie was 13 years old when she died. She was barely 13, but she was 13.
Yes.
There's gonna be a 13-year-old girl, boy, whatever, watching this channel, watching other channels, listening to us talk about Maddie and realizing that they're in the same situation and saying to themselves, I don't want to end up dead. Maybe it's time for me to come forward. There might be,
if we can just help one child,
right,
one child.
Right. There might be an inept parent like Jen Soto who is so aloof and so detached with reality that something like what happened to Maddie is actually happening in their household, and they legitimately can't realize it, even though it's probably happening right in front of their eyes. They can't see it. And they might, just out of curiosity, be watching this show.
They think it's normal.
Right. Or maybe, and then they're watching this show, and they're watching other true crime shows, and they might say, hold on, that's happening in my house right now. And maybe they might take action and call the cops and save that person. It's not. So by us talking about these things, we are legitimately saving lives, ladies and gentlemen. Legitimately saving lives. You have anything else for me before I let you go?
One other thing, I believe Maddie finally said no, and that's what put him in a rage, because I don't think he really wanted to kill her. Right. I just believe she got upset and started fighting. Right. I think you're spot on. I think it's highly unlikely that he would just choose to kill her just for the hell of it. Yes. I think it's either A, she said no. It's B, that he was engaging in some very dangerous forms of BDSM. And maybe he went too far and he choked her to death, because she did die from strangulation. And that B might also include recording it, snuff film style stuff for Telegram and all that stuff. So it's one of those two. Yes. There's just no way that she is, acquiescing to her reality and letting him do what he wants because she's scared and traumatized and been groomed to do it. He's not just going to kill her if she's cooperating. All right. The death resulted because, like you said, no more, or he went too far. Or I'll add a third one, because there was drugs involved, but I need to see the full autopsy to figure this out. He could have maybe overdosed her as well. Could have overdosed her. Yep, just like the Kaylee Anthony case. Right.
But he won't get the same outcome that top mom got.
That's right. He's where he's at, and he's going to stay there. Now we just, hopefully, like you said, she needs to at least be charged with neglect. Who sends their child to sleep with their boyfriend?
It's crazy.
I mean, really.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's inappropriate, and it's terrible. She led the lamb to the lion's den.
And I also think that interview where you see Sturz crying, everyone says those tears weren't real. I believe they were. I believe he realized what he did, and he actually loved her. He didn't want to kill her. and was virtually upset what happened.
I don't know. I don't know if people like that can possess that level of empathy, even if it's a self-serving empathy. From my reading of that, his eyes were very red, but I didn't see any tears coming down his face. But it is what it is. We're going to go to the next call. I appreciate you for coming through, showing love, and heeding the call.
Thank you for having me on. You have a wonderful one. Yay.
All right. See you later. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually cut her off on the end. I don't like doing that stuff. I would have loved to have heard her say goodbye or something like that, but that was not purposeful. It's not purposeful. Next caller. Welcome to the Strategic Eyes Show, a.k.a. True Crime with Strategic. What's going on? Are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. What's going on? What's your name?
My name's Maddie.
Where are you calling from, Maddie?
I'm calling from Illinois.
I was about to say, you sound like you're from Chicago. You sound like you're dangerous. I swear on everything. I'm good with accents. And then you said, I'm calling from Illinois. I was about to say, you sound dangerous like you're from Chicago or something. You from Chicago? Where you from?
I'm actually from the suburb, like an hour outside of Chicago.
See, dangerous enough. That's like somebody saying like, yeah, I'm from Manhattan. I live in Harlem. That's where I'm from. You're dangerous. Nah, welcome to the show. How long have you been watching the show?
Probably a month and a half. I found your channel from Guilty of Crime.
Cool.
And yeah, I've really, really enjoyed. I watch a lot of true crime YouTubers, but I really enjoy yours because I just feel like, I don't know, like I feel like you're talking to us when like you're doing a live stream. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. Like I told you, we retooled the show. We're not talking about politics, we talk about true crime. But I've always felt like the audience is a part of the show, and so that's why I'll stop and acknowledge people in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. You guys are what help make the magic work. I don't know if that makes any sense. Big shout out though to Guilty of Crime. Very, very good show. Please go check her show out. Give her some love. We got a lot of new subs here that may not even know who Guilty of Crime is. She's a new YouTuber. I think she's just been doing it for a year now, maybe a little bit more. Please go support her channel and give her the love that she deserves. She does a really good show. So anyway, what do you got for me? Talk to me. What's going on with this Maddie case?
So I would love to hear your opinion as to when do you think Jen Soto found out that Steven Stearns allegedly murdered Maddie? Do you think it was when he got arrested, or do you think she knew beforehand?
This is a very tricky question. It's a very, very, very tricky question. The reason why it's so tricky is
wait. Let me also just add that Steven Stearns had never taken Maddie to school. So prior to that time. So I just think that's a little suspicious.
Right. Yeah. All right. The reason why it's a very tricky question is because when I go down that rabbit hole, then it makes Jen Soto even more complicit in the death of Maddie without me having evidence of it. But I think it's possible. Because the reason why I think it's possible, and I think I don't know, man. That's a real tough question. There's so many red flags because, for instance, the lies that she told to help Stefan about what Maddie was wearing, seeing Maddie that morning. We took Maddie to school together, even though she wasn't there. When his story was falling apart, still sticking by his side. It seems as though she knew that Maddie was dead. How was Stefan Stearns? Now, I don't know if she knew that he was coming to kill her, but it's at what point did he tell her? Because how would he be able to bring this dead body down the stairs into the car without mommy knowing? How? Without Jen. So it's hard for me to answer that question. I will tell you my intuition is that it's possible. The issue with this case that's throwing me for a loop, guys, is that whatever they could do to Jen, it seems like it's taking too long. And the longer it takes, the less likely it's going to happen. All the forensics is pretty much coming back at this point, guys. The autopsies is done. They just didn't release it because she's a juvenile, and by law, they don't release it in Florida. The forensics of the phones are all done. The subpoenas for all of the electronic storage like Google Drive and all, it's all returned now. Yet Jen Soto is not in handcuffs and has not been charged with anything. So if she did know and the police at least had evidence of her knowing, she would be charged with accessory after the fact of murder. And she has not been charged, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know. So I'm sorry I couldn't give you a definitive answer. It's just so complicated of an answer, but it's not looking too good. You got another question for me?
So another question that I had was that, so you know how the parents allegedly never really liked Steven Stern.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would be curious to know, or maybe we do know and I just don't know, if there was a specific reason why they didn't like him. Like, did he give off a vibe to them that made him feel uncomfortable?
Well, I've heard about that. I will challenge the Strategic Eyes research crew. They work very hard, so I hate giving them new tasks because there's a lot of stuff they get me that I don't use. Just because it's got to feel right to me. I got to feel right about a story for me to talk about it. I just don't report true crime. This is not that type of channel. There are daily true crime channels that cover everything in true crime, and they do an amazing job at it, but that's not what I do. So I'm very targeted, and when I target something, I like to deep dive and keep coming back to it like we do with Madeline Soto. So I'd like to challenge them to go and find this information, but I did read, just don't remember where, but we'll find it for you guys, that the family didn't like the fact that he was extremely messy and dirty, and I think one of the roommates spoke about this as well. He's extremely messy, extremely dirty, would not clean up after himself, that he also could not keep a job, so he never helped Jen Soto for any significant amount of time. So when he talks about, and we covered this on his Reddit post, where he's talking about his experience working for Disney, that was short-lived, ladies and gentlemen. He did not work there for a long time, even though he took ownership as though he's been working there for 20 years. So I think they didn't like him for the reasons that most family members won't like a loved one's boyfriend or girlfriend. If you're not doing the stereotypical things that we believe a partner should do, which is like financial and emotional support. And it appears that in both of these things, Stephen Stearns was lacking. Did I answer your question?
It did. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have anything else before I let you go?
I don't think so. Have a great day.
All right. I appreciate you. Have a good one. All right. That's going good so far. Lots of good questions. Nice, polite people, educated people. Really love all the people who've called so far. All right. Anybody else want to call in? There we go. All right. We're here. What's going on?
Hi, Strategic.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from New York.
All right. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming through, a fellow New Yorker. What do you got for me? First of all, how long have you been with the Strategic Eyes Show?
For years now. I'm probably like one of your first subscribers. I don't want to brag.
What's your screen name? What's your screen name?
Precious Gem.
Oh, absolutely. Precious Gem been with the show for a very long time. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Precious Gem, for believing in the Strategic Eyes Show. I would dare say you're like one of my first 10 subscribers. And you've been with me all this time through all these different rebranding. Well, we only rebranded once, but you're still with me. You're still, because a lot of my political people aren't with me no more. They're like, oh, you're not talking about politics. I'm out of here. But it's all good. So what do you got for me? What's happening?
Well, I just want to say I'm very proud of you. Like, I've watched your progress and I've watched your channel grow. So I'm definitely proud of you. But and as it pertains to the case, like, as a mother, like, I don't want to say, I don't know if she's innocent or not, but based off of what I've seen, I can't believe that certain things that she would allow her daughter to do with Stephen Stearns.
Right.
And it just concerns me as a mother. But, I know we're all not perfect as parents, but there's just certain things that I would not, allow my child to do, like them sleeping together. It's not even her biological father at that.
Right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable him being in, the same bed with her. Like,
right.
That just, it was just a little weird, a little strange to me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, everything is in context, and life is nuance. If they lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and the dad usually sleeps on the couch and the biological dad, and mommy's like, hey, I got work early in the morning, how about you two go sleep inside the room? That's a different story. That's a biological father. There are no other sleeping options because they live in a 1-bedroom apartment.
I agree.
If the father does something horrible, how is the mother supposed to know that a father could sink so low that he would abuse his own children?
Right.
I give her a pass. You know what I'm saying? But when you live in a 4-bedroom house with multiple sleeping areas, multiple couches one could crash on, and you choose, I mean, what is Maddie doing? Is she a wild sleeper? Is she going to kick mommy in the back? Mommy going to wake up with a foot in her mouth or something like that? Why would you choose to send Stephen Stearns, a on and off again boyfriend, to sleep with your daughter? Why, rather than you sleep with your daughter? Why not say, Stephen Stearns, you go sleep on the couch, and me and Maddie are going to sleep in the bed. Maddie's a big girl. She sleep on her side of the bed. Mommy sleep on her side of the bed. She literally set that girl up for failure. She set that girl up for destruction and abuse. So yeah, man, her actions
and that's another
are suspect.
thing. Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No,
that's another thing that I'm taking into consideration. She's older now. I can understand if she was 4 years old, she's having trouble sleeping. Her stepfather wants to, sleep with her, go into bed with her until she falls asleep, and then, a parent will exit the room after they fall asleep.
Right.
You're just there to comfort them until, unless they're, if they're afraid of the dark or something, you're just comforting them until they fall asleep.
Right.
But she's a teenager. She just turned 13, or was she 12 when she died? I'm sorry.
She was 13. She was 13. She was 13.
Just
for a couple of days.
She's a teenager now. She's a teenager. I don't know why she would. I could see that she was not comfortable with him still, sleeping with her, but she couldn't, she didn't have the strength to speak up. And who could say that they would have the strength when you're only 13? Like,
But this stuff has been
so
happening
I
since she
can't
was
blame
8
her
years
for not
old.
speaking up.
Since 8 years old, she's been
exactly.
indoctrinated to this
She
abuse.
for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not like
I definitely sympathize with her. I'm not victim blaming at all, but the mother, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any sympathy for her.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Thank you for your call. I really appreciate it. Keep supporting the channel.
Thank you, Strategic.
All right.
I will continue to support. I'll always be here.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Man, nice call. Longtime supporter. Really do appreciate it. I want to give a big shout out to Bev Taylor with a $5 super chat. She says, what really was so disturbing was Jen Soto's utter lack of any emotion, laughter during law enforcement interviews. I agree 1,000%. She was very cold, very detached, etc. Just very sick individual. And somebody else said something I really want to call out. I really appreciate it. It was Anita. I want to find Anita's message because Alito is on point. Anita Blackstone says, come on, people, show that like button some love and show the YouTube verse how much we love at True Crime with Strategic. Listen to Anita. She's a very wise person. I would trust her with my taxes, okay? Maybe not. But anyway, please listen to Anita. Hit that like button. Support the channel. You guys are amazing. We have great calls coming in so far. This is very entertaining, very cool. I hope you're really appreciating what we're doing here. We have a $2 super sticker from MM Claire, another supporter of the channel. We appreciate you, MM Claire. Thank you so much. We really got to fix it where when somebody sends a super chat, it pops up for everybody to see. I really got to figure that out. So please, we're looking for another call. We'll take like maybe 2 or 3 more if you guys are up for it. If you guys are not up for it, I totally understand. We'll end the show. We'll go about our business. We're already at 1 hour and 53 minutes. It's been a long show already. I'm definitely down to stay a little bit longer because I'm really enjoying interacting with you guys, speaking to you guys. You guys are amazing. 434 people watching this show right now. There's got to be at least 2 to 3 people, more people who are willing to call in and talk to me about this case. If you want to ask some law enforcement questions, we can ask that too. But definitely, I'm here to talk about Maddie, and I'd love to hear your perspective and get to know some of you guys. Big shout out to Bev Taylor with another super chat. Bev Taylor says, listen, y'all, they lived in a townhouse together, not exactly soundproof. MS was essayed from age 8 to 13. Jen didn't work. No way she didn't know. Yeah, and that's another thing. Jen didn't always have a job, guys. She didn't always have a job. She's a lot of times she was mooching off her daddy, and Stephen Stearns was stealing from his parents. Okay? So there's no way that this should be happening and Jen not know. At least that's my opinion. I could be wrong. What do I know? What do I know? But big shout out to Bev Taylor with that super chat. We really do appreciate you for continuing to support the channel. Anita Blacksmith says, I love you, man. I love you too. She says, you're amazing. Thank you so much, Anita, for supporting the channel. Lady for Justice, love that name. Love that name. Is now a Strategic Eyes fam member. Thanks for becoming a member and supporting the channel. All right, we're looking for another caller, guys. If I don't get one in the next couple of minutes, we are going to end the show. Rachel W. with a $5 super chat says, Jen and Steven both have two of the most punchable faces I've ever seen. Love you, Strategic. This live is fire. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm going to say it one more time. I appreciate you. 518-639-6283. 518-639. I'm saying it off the top of my head like I know what I'm talking about. 6283. Call in for the live show. Let me hear you. We've had some great calls so far. Quite a few people decided they wanted to call in. Please make sure you support the channel and call in. Well, maybe you guys can't call in. I don't know. Did I screw up? Hope I didn't screw up. Make sure that still paid for. Settings. Now we're good to go. I got unlimited calling. Yep. We've got unlimited calling, so we're good to go. Perfect. All right, come on. Time is running out. If we don't get a call in soon, we're going to have to end the show, guys. We're going to have to end the show if we don't get a call soon. We don't get a call soon, we're going to end the show. We're going to end the show. Let me go ahead and check over here. I want to see if there's anything else for us to discuss while we wait for somebody to call in and show some love to the Strategic Eyes show and let their voices be heard. Big shout out to everybody who's become a member in this live, and big shout out to everybody who has contributed with a super chat. Let me go over here and see how many members we have on this live. This has been a really good live, man. It's really awesome. Ooh, wow. A lot of people become members. Rachel just gave one gifted membership to some lucky person. ES got that. ES, please make sure that you thank Rachel W. for showing love to you. Please make sure you thank her. You know what? Let's do this. Oh, my gosh. I'm kind of broke. You know, it's the beginning of the month. You got to pay all the bills. Definitely broke right now. Would I sound corny if I said I love you guys, though? Like, would you guys say, hey, Strategic, you kind of corny if I say I love you guys? Because since I love you, okay. All right, new caller. Hold on one second, new caller. Hold on one second. I was just about to say something. Because I love you guys so much, I'm going to give 5 free memberships, right? So if you want to be a member of the show, YouTube determines the membership by how much you engage in the chat. We have no control over who becomes a member. It's all about how you engage in the chat. So do me a favor, only for non-members, because if you're already a member, you're not going to get it. For the non-members, throw a thumbs up inside of the chat if you want a free gift membership, right? Throw that thumbs up. And then I'm going to drop it after I'm done with this lovely caller who's going to introduce themselves to me right now. So please, who are you, caller? Who are you?
Rachel, calling from Ohio.
Okay. How you doing, Rachel?
I'm doing good. I've been following this Minnesota case since a little bit after the beginning of it.
Okay.
I have a 13-year-old son and a 29-year-old son.
Congratulations.
So I couldn't even imagine. Thank you. I couldn't imagine that happening to my kids. And like everyone else has been saying, you can't tell me, Maddie's mom didn't know. Like, come on now. How can you not know that your daughter is being essayed, you know?
You know what? Intuition tells me absolutely not. And I don't like to double speak, but remember what I do for a living. And I can never be I can never have tunnel vision. I always have to be willing to look in different directions. I also have to always be willing to change my mind based off the facts. Now, the facts to me point that she probably knows so far. But have I seen situations with my own eyes? Have I investigated situations with my own brain and my own skills where somebody didn't know and they should have known? And the answer is yes, it's possible. But that's why I always see, if she knew, then she deserves to be charged with murder, or she deserves to be charged with SA. But that's why I always fall back to if she didn't know, she still should be charged with child neglect, with child abuse. Because in Florida, they have the law where even if you didn't know, you should have known, you still need to be charged. So I can't say definitively. If you want to hear the emotional side of strategic, I'm going to say, hell yeah, she knew, let's lock her up forever. That's emotional strategic. But if you want to hear the logical strategic, I'm going to say I don't know. But she still should be charged with negligence, because that would be a lawful charge. It would be a lawful charge to charge her with negligence because she should have known. But I don't know. And it's possible she did not know. It's possible she's such a selfish, self-centered person that she didn't know and didn't really care. There's people like that out there.
Yeah, not mean to cut you off, sorry.
Sure, of course.
And from what I saw in the video from when Stephen Stearns was acting like he was crying, and then Jen Soto was trying to say that she wore this and she wore that, but she didn't wear this, but she didn't wear that. It's like, obviously, that's the way of saying, I'm guilty. I knew what happened. And Stephen Stearns, they're going to have to put him back to custody in prison or jail or something unless someone gets to him regardless, because I'm speechless on all the charges they got against them. I truly am.
Right. You know, I spoke about this in another video. See somebody's trying to call in. Unfortunately, just call back in a little because we're about to be done soon. I don't have any faith that these inmates are going to do. I know there's like one of my part of Strategic Guys research crew sent me a link to an interview with a former inmate saying that, you know, the inmate's going to deal with him. That's just not true. I worked in the prison system for 12 years. These inmates are busy selling drugs, you know, doing all kinds of illegal stuff, engaging in gang activity. They're not worrying about this dude. Now, if he comes in and he try to make noise for himself and stuff like that, then yeah, there's a possibility he's going to get hurt badly if he's getting involved in that stuff. Will he get extorted? Absolutely. Somebody will take his money, take his food. So he'll have to pay for protection and stuff like that. But will they just say, oh, you're a baby raping killer? You know, let's go beat you up? Nah, they don't do that in prison. At least not in New York State prisons.
I kind of wish he was as much as I shouldn't be vengeful, but like I said, all the charges he has against him and everything, and him complaining about his mattress or whatever you want to call it in prison, being uncomfortable, being cold, being this or that. Dude, you wasn't thinking about Maddie when you killed her.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. He didn't give a damn about Maddie, but you know, he's a self-centered, narcissistic person, and that's why he acted the way he acted. Thank you so much for calling. I want to move on to another caller because people are just calling like crazy. I'll see you on the next one, all right?
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right. Next caller, what's going on?
Well, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Atlanta.
All right. From the ATL, home of the BBLs.
What? The BBL?
You don't know what the BBL is? Those fake booties? That's what Atlanta.
Oh.
You're from ATL. I'm sorry. What's your name?
You crazy kids today and your slang. Oh,
wait, I'm a kid. I'm 40 years old. You must be up there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm only 53.
Oh,
but
so
don't tell
come on.
anybody.
Yeah, don't be dating. Okay. Don't be acting like you old now. That 53 is the new 40. So what's going on? What you got for me today? First of all, how long have you watched the show?
Oh God, quite a few months now. I'm really bad with dates, anniversaries. Oh, I'm horrible, but yeah, but a while.
Appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the channel. So what do you got for me?
Okay, I want to know, what did Stephen Stearns go back to the house for when his mother,
That's a good question.
said, okay, no, well, here's what I was thinking.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Okay, well, now, obviously, the dad goes, to get the hotel room for them. And I'm thinking, well, why did they go get the hotel room? Couldn't he just do that online?
Okay.
Why did he actually have to go and pay for it in person? So I'm thinking the dad probably, was taking something to him.
Right.
But maybe the dad didn't take everything or get everything.
That's possible. Some hotels will allow you to make the reservation, but you still need to use a physical credit card. And since this guy, Stephen Stearns, was a big old bum, there's no, we don't know if he had a credit card to actually put on file. So yes, you can make a reservation online, but when you get there to check in, you have to have a physical credit card. And if they're broke and they have no money, then the father would need to make that personal trip. So I guess what you're saying is that the father may have given him something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, because when the dad, had the computer that was in the garage, I'm like, well, why is Steven's computer in the garage?
Right.
Seems like it's getting ready to go somewhere.
Right. But then the father was the one who gave the police, who handed over to police tons of, electronic devices and storage mediums with CSAM on it. So what would he give Stephen that would help Stephen, that would be less damaging than what he gave the police, which hurt Stephen because it has CSAM?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe he was getting ready to take the computer to Stephen.
Okay.
Because, I'm thinking, well, why is the computer in the garage?
It's possible.
Why wouldn't it be in his room? So maybe he was thinking about it and was like, oh no, screw that. I'm going to, give that to the police or whatever. So possible. maybe that was what he was supposed to take to him. I don't know when, exactly, he gave it to the police, the timeline. I'm not sure about that. So,
right.
But, so I don't know. I was just wondering.
No, it's a good question. There's no such thing as a bad question.
Stephen went back. Yeah, and then maybe Stephen went, back to see if the computer was really there, or or something, or he forgot got a thumb drive underneath something, maybe. I don't know, but I'm just wondering, what did he go back to the house to get at 3 a.m? Right.
Well, I don't know. I have my theories. I think that he may have put some of that CSAM material inside of the father's storage locker because they found that stuff there, and he didn't normally use that storage locker. So we know that he went to the parents' house. We know that he was there because the mother has her timestamp of 3:19, even though she claims that she never saw him, which I believe to be a lie, simply because somebody doesn't come in your house at 3:19 in the morning. Your dogs are barking. You're up, and you don't peek out your door and say, "Hey, who's here?"
Of course you
do.
Of course
you do. And then you'll say, "Hey, Mom,
you
it's me."
Baseball bat.
Exactly.
Baseball bat.
Yeah. So
who's here?
So he went to his room. He got all the CSAM material that he could think of. Because remember, you're moving fast. You've hidden things in places you may forget about when you're under the stress that he's under. He grabs all the CSAM material that he can remember, and then he brings it into the storage device, thinking that the police would not know that his father had a storage device. But the police are always smarter.
Yeah. So maybe he left the computer in the garage.
Maybe.
In haste, and then that's when the dad was like, "Oh, wait a minute, you left this here."
Well, listen, I don't know. I don't know if the father and the mother have engaged in any type of criminal assistance with their son, but I could definitely say that I do believe that they financially and morally assisted him. And we see that in evidence, getting him a hotel room, even though at that time everybody knew he was a prime suspect, supporting him while he's in jail, etc.
Yeah. Well, how would the dad know that there was that stuff on the computer? If he had to have known.
I don't know, but I don't know if at that time the police, I think when he handed it over, he was already arrested for the CSAM material.
Oh, okay.
So he would know that they're interested in electronic devices and in storage devices and stuff like that. So he'd know that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I can't recall exactly if it said that, you know, that the dad said that there was, you know, that material on there. And he was
He didn't hand it over saying he just handed it over.
That maybe.
Yeah, there's no documentation that said that he said, I believe that there's something on here. It's just, here you go. I'm giving you the stuff that was in his room. You figure it out, basically. Well, thank you for calling, man. I appreciate you for supporting the channel.
No problem.
Right.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. We'll see you out there.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right. Any more callers? Any more callers? Anybody else want to come on, show some support for the Strategic Eyes show? Get on here. Tell me how you feel about this case. Do you have any questions? Those are really good questions, man. That's what I'm looking for. Like I told you, there's no such thing as a bad question. There's no such thing as a bad theory, okay? We could talk about theories. I got another caller in. Real quick before you get started, caller, just hold on for 1 second. I just want to acknowledge just a few people inside of the chat, all right? You know, we do that on the Strategic Eyes show. Everybody matters here. All right, so Petty Mason gave a gift membership to Gen X Gen 71. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And Queen B is now a Strategic Eyes fellow member. All right, great. Caller, how you doing? Where you calling from? What's your name?
Hey, this is Rachel. What's up with you?
What's up, Rachel? How you doing?
What's up?
Appreciate you for calling through.
You.
It's great to hear your voice. Where are you calling from again?
So I'm in Colorado. I'm in Denver.
All right, Denver, Colorado, man. It's a very nice vacation place. I don't know how you guys are faring with all the migrant stuff that's happening over there. I heard it's kind of like overwhelming the city. What do you think about that?
It's kind of wild. It's sad, man. I've been in Denver for 20 years, and it used to be like, I mean, it's not New York. It's not a big city.
Right.
But for a bigger city, it was pretty clean. It was pretty, cool. And it's just crazy. It looks like Skid Row, LA.
Nah, man, that sucks, man. It sucks. It seems to be happening a lot around the country. I don't talk politics on this channel anymore, but I'm wondering, what is the solution, man? Because we deserve better. This is the greatest country in the world. No disrespect to the international audience. And, it just seems like, wow, it's like after Rona, everything just went downhill. It just went downhill after Rona. But anyway, what brings you to the show today? What do you want to talk about?
Oh man, I just, I found you probably 2 months ago, and I love this channel. I just want to, I said it in the comments, but I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I think a lot of us, like, for what you do, just to see, someone with your experience, someone with your, talent and platform to get up here and be a voice for the voiceless, to fight for all of us every day. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart, and God bless you and your family.
Wow, I really appreciate that. Oh man, well, I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I don't know what to say, man. You flatter me. I'm just trying to help. I'm just, the best way I can, And thank you for supporting me, because without you guys' support, this channel goes nowhere. I've been talking about things for a very long time. Everything I talk about comes from the bottom of my heart. I'm never saying it from a bad place, but without the support, it goes nowhere. So, you guys are it, and I really do appreciate you, and it's what keeps me coming back. I don't really know what to say, because you really hit me. You really hit me in the heart. You got anything else for me? Any questions about Maddie or anything before I let you go?
Yeah. So one thing about Maddie that I did want to say, somebody had asked, well, what do you think? Did she know? Was she in on it? And I happened to notice, and I think you pointed it out too, or somebody, I watched something online where Jen she was very quick to try to give an alibi for it. Seemed like she knew she was covering for something to me.
Yeah, we covered that on this channel, absolutely, and probably other people as well. We're definitely not going to take credit for it, but we did cover that, and it was like she didn't have to. That's the thing. Like, nobody solicited that cover up. Nobody solicited that lie. She put herself out there to say something that was totally outlandish, that no reasonable person would say, considering the circumstances. If you were sleeping, why would you say that you took Maddie with him? Or at the very least, I mean, the lie gets so deep, why would you say what Maddie was wearing when you technically didn't see her wearing anything? If you saw Maddie, you'd see her dead. You know? So, yeah. It's just so complicated. The problem is that the police know much more than what we know. Listen, guys, we haven't even seen Jen Soto's interrogation. We haven't even seen that. We haven't seen it. We haven't heard it. We haven't heard or seen Stephen Stern's interrogation, however brief it was. My understanding is that it didn't last long before he lawyered up. Once they got really accusatory on him, he then said, hey, I think I should have an attorney at this time. But Jen Soto, from my understanding, her interview was extensive. We haven't seen it yet. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that we haven't been made privy to yet. And it is what it is. Anything else before I let you go?
No, man. Just God bless you and your family, and stay safe. And thank you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
The best. We love you. We love
I love
you.
it. I love it. Thank you so much. We'll see you out there.
Okay.
Oh, once again, I did it again. I cut the person off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut it off before you say, okay, bye. I'm sorry. I'm new to this. It's my first time doing a call-in show like this in a very, very long time. When I did call-in shows in the past. All right, we got another call. Caller, hold on 1 second. I got to go into the comment section real quick and show some love. Hold on 1 second. All right, big shout out to Anita Blackstone, who's now a Strategiceyes fan member. Thank you so much. Anita was showing crazy love inside of the comment section, telling people to hit that like button. And now she's decided to join the membership and become a part of the family. So welcome to the family, Anita. You are appreciated. Big shout out to everybody who's a Strategiceyes member. And to everybody who's watching the show right now, please hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And listen, caller, hold on 1 second because I got to do what was promised. I got to drop this I gotta drop these free memberships. So I promised it, and I gotta come through with my promise. So give me 1 second, and then I'll take your call. She's like, hurry up, man, I'm paying for this call about a minute. All right, memberships, buy memberships for viewers. All right, and we're gonna get those 5 memberships. I'll be right with you. Almost there. It's charging my card, my debit card. Perfect. It's all done. Enjoy. 5 lucky people will get a membership. Enjoy. All right, caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Name is Georgia, and I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
All right, from good old Michigan. Nice to meet you, Georgia. How long have you been watching the Strategiceyes show?
You know, I just kind of got involved in true crime on YouTube about 3-4 months ago, and I ran into you on Guilty of Crime.
Oh, perfect.
So I've been kind of following, especially the Soto case. I have completely different thoughts on this. It was stated that Jen had reached out to Stephen and said that he needed her help that night.
Okay.
So I believed that something was going on, that she needed help with Maddie. Possibly she was pregnant.
Oh, boy.
And I also think that maybe he tried to abort, and that's why she died.
Wow. That's an interesting theory. Definitely an interesting theory. I think we need the full autopsy. I've never heard. Yeah. Well, I think I've heard about Jen asking him to come. But it didn't stand out to me because they were in an off and on again relationship. So it was like, okay, you know, she wanted him to come up. I did hear that. Now, as far as the pregnancy, my issue is I would need to speak to a DA down in Florida to kind of figure out what is the threshold by which they would charge an additional murder charge for the killing of a pregnant person. Some places you have to get past a certain trimester for them to charge that. And true. So as of now, they have not charged an additional murder charge for what could conceivably have been an unborn child. You know, so
but they haven't charged the murder for Madeline yet, have they? They
have charged the murder for Madeline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have.
I thought they had not, and it was only essays so far.
It was a while there. So right now, from my understanding, and I'll go and research and correct myself if I have to, but my understanding is they have dropped both at this time, but they plan on doing the SA case separate from the murder, and they will try the SA case first. And both of them are going to be capital cases. So that's my understanding. I will definitely double check. If I'm wrong, I will 100 and 1,000% correct myself. And of course, you watch, so you'll hear that correction if one is needed. But my understanding is they did charge the murder. Wow, but I think that's a really good theory. It's a really good theory. It's definitely a good theory.
Well, if it's not exactly that, I believe that she called him for some kind of help with Madeline for whatever was going on.
Right. And that's
So
something
there
that
was
we find out in the interrogation that they haven't released yet. Why are they, if she's not saying something incriminating, Georgia, why are they not releasing the interrogation of Jen Soto?
Maybe because they still do have plans on filing or charging her.
Why are they
Sorry.
taking so long? I wouldn't have taken that long. Why are they taking so
Well,
long?
they probably need further evidence.
I don't know.
But did you hear that it was a bloody scene as well? So if he strangled her, why was there blood?
Oh, boy. That was the ultimate cause of death, but I didn't hear that it was a bloody scene. I have to look through it because we covered this. So I have to go through that video again or go through the 800-page document dump. But I didn't
I heard that on Guilty of Crime.
We'll have to take
I'm
a look
almost
at it.
sure that's where I heard it.
Gotta take a
Because
look
there's
at
not too many people that are covering Madeline as closely as you two are.
There's just it's a lot of information. We cover a lot of information. So we'll check it out. And definitely, hey, listen, we'll go over the show again and just go over the evidence of the crime scene again and walk through that. I don't think I actually did a walkthrough of the crime scene on the show. You know, that might be another show that we might do just to make sure that people have that clarification. Anything else before I let you go?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, man.
Keep the show working well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the
good one.
channel. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right.
You too.
All right. Big shout out to David. All right. They're coming in.
Hey,
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Get it out too or something.
Hello?
Hi, is this strategic?
It is. Give me 1 second, though. I got to go to the comment section real quick. Big shout out to David for $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, David, for showing love to the channel. And we have, who are those 5 people that got that gift membership that I supplied? Christine Brown, Carrie Protest, Heidi Van Ness, Kristen Perry, and Evil Olive. Interesting name. All have received gift memberships from moi, from my pocket, for the Strategic Eyes Show. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. For this new caller, how you doing? What's your name?
Hi, this is Annie from Detroit, Michigan.
All right, Detroit, Michigan. What an interesting place. All right.
Strategic. What is your first name, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure, Strategic. I'm not saying my government name on YouTube, but my name is Strategic Eyes. No, I don't want to. Are you okay with that? Is all right with you?
No, yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Anyway,
so what do you got for me?
Okay, this is very perplexing. I just can't figure it out.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about the condo. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, it was owned by her father in her father's name, and apparently she was subleased to them or to her parents or something.
Okay.
Now, what about all the rooms with the numbers on the doors? Like, what is that all about?
She was renting rooms out.
Which is very. Now, their cover story was they were renting rooms out for people that want to do Airbnb, correct?
Right. Well, not entirely.
So,
they had roommates as well that have come forward and were interviewed by the police and also gave interviews on other channels.
I just don't know if the condo association would really allow that. Like, wouldn't they get in trouble for doing that on the side? You know what I'm saying?
It's possible, but it's all about do you know? Does somebody report it? So I don't know. And then how do you prove it? It really is how do you prove it? So if I'm renting a room to you and I'm saying like, hey, it's a condo, if somebody asks you a question, you're my relative, you can't tell people how many people could come into their home. So it's just how do you prove it? And then Airbnb are short-term rentals. So those people are going to be in and out within a week or two max, if not just a few days. So, yeah. But that stuff has been covered in that. Scores of roommates that they've had have come forward, have been interviewed by police.
Right.
YouTubers have been able to gain access to these folks, and they've given interviews on their experience. And we've heard a lot of dirt on Stephen Stearns on why he was not liked by the family and also by the roommates. Some roommates moved out because they didn't like Stephen Stearns. So
right, because they're waking up in the middle of the night to get a glass of milk, and there's some creepy guy creeping around in the living room.
Right. So
And
yeah.
like, hey, I didn't sign up. I want my money back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I'm leaving.
Right. Yeah.
To me, there's something else is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Something else. It just doesn't smell right to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my other concern is follow the money. Is Jen Soto profiting in any way from certain activities, if you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like, get her financial.
Right. I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that the police have done that. My concern is it's taking a while for a case of this magnitude for them to file charges. Doesn't mean that they won't. I just feel like when you have the mountain of evidence that we have already, that charges would typically be filed, but we also don't know what negotiations are happening behind the scenes between Jen Soto and her attorney and the district attorneys down there, the county attorney. So I don't know. I'm losing hope because it's taking a while, but at the same time, it still is possible. It could still happen. Anything else before I let you go?
Yeah, I'm just saying, do you think it went to the grand, with the grand jury? Do you think it's even bigger than we know?
I don't know. We wouldn't know until after the grand jury is impaneled because it's secret, but it would probably go to grand jury because it'd be a felony. And most felonies go to grand juries, especially high crimes.
Oh, that's good. That's good information.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Really talking to you.
All right,
you
it's nice
ever come to Detroit, go to Greenfield Village.
All right, you got it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
What's going on, guy? Well, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
Hello?
All right, so we're going to be down to our last two callers because we're already at 2 hours and 26 minutes. So you're lucky. We're going to talk to you, and then we'll take one more call, and then we'll call it a day. We'll wrap the show up. So first of all, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Michaelina. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
How you doing? Welcome from Pennsylvania.
I'm doing great. I cannot believe I actually got through. I'm driving, so I'm going to pull over real quick.
Oh, yo, please be safe. I do not want to be a witness to somebody getting hurt. And don't scare me. The last caller, she was really nice, but she was like, "What's your first name?" I'm like, "What the hell?"
Oh my God, I heard that.
What's
I
going
thought
on
she was going to come find you.
Yo, no disrespect to that caller. You know, we crack jokes on the Strategic Eyes, so it's not always serious.
No, just joking. Just joking.
The name is Strategic for a reason, guys. Okay, let's go. What do you got?
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, are you
Mr.
safe?
Strategic.
Are you safe?
Yeah, I'm pulled over now.
All right,
I'm pulled
cool.
over.
So what's going on?
I have one point, and I could talk about this case for hours, but I have one point that I feel like really hasn't gotten a lot of attention, and that is Madeline's other white crock. Not the one that was in the dumpster, but in the document dump that came out, they said that her other white crock was found in her quote-unquote bedroom area off the living room under a window. Okay. Now, I understand that Jen went to the school to pick up Maddie, and then after that, she supposedly went right to her mother's office. But after she and Stefan went home, don't you think any mother would tear apart her child's room looking for any clue, a note, a diary for where she may have disappeared to? Right. That tells me that those two goonballs went home, got messed up on their drugs, and just sat around.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way she could have gone into that bedroom without seeing her shoe.
See, then there's a flaw in your thinking. I'm gonna tell you what the flaw is in your thinking, because you are basing what you're saying on what a reasonable person would do. And everything that we've seen so far shows that Jen Soto is the most unreasonable person on the planet, in my opinion. So yes, a reasonable mother who cares for her daughter and would not send her daughter, who's the lamb, into the lion's den, would not have her daughter sleeping with her on and off again degenerate boyfriend. Yeah, a reasonable mother like that would probably say, "Where's my daughter? Let me go check the room, see if there's a note. Did she leave a runaway note, a S side note, like whatever, is there shoes, like what?" But of course, Jen is not going to do that because she's not reasonable.
Under my kids' beds, I'd be looking between the mattress and the box spring, and it surprises me that the next day when she did her formal interview with the police, that it's glaringly obvious to me that she couldn't say that I found her shoe.
Right. I mean,
I don't know why she's not in jail.
I don't know
it makes me insane.
How much of the significance of the shoe is. I want to look more into it. The reason why I say that is because I don't know if she has multiple shoes. The fact that it looked to me like he's throwing clothes into the bag. He could just put one shoe. Remember, after he killed this girl, even if he's a psychopath.
They both told the cops. They both told the police they came to take the report that she was wearing white Crocs.
Right.
And
So
had
this
that backpack.
This is a good observation from you, a very good observation I actually missed. So I want to look deeper into this because that's a really good question, a really good point to make. You are saying she had the white Crocs, but the white Crocs are in the house, at least one of them. One is found in the trash. The other one is found in the house.
And they had already found the other one in that dumpster.
Right. So why would you say she had white Crocs off if you went into her room, which is what a normal parent would do, and saw that those white Crocs were under the window? That's a really good point. That's something I'm going to look into and follow up in. So Aki, make sure you take note of that. For us to follow up on that, because I think that's a really good thing to dive into, because it really shows once again that Jen Soto, put my God voice on, Jen Soto is a liar. She's a goddamn liar, man.
Negligent at best, and a lot worse at worst.
Absolutely. And I apologize for saying the GD word because a lot of people don't like when I say that, and I don't want to offend anybody. Anything else before I let you go and you can get back on the road safely?
No, Thank you so much for taking my call. I love your show.
Thank you so much. And don't do illegal things like drive on your phone to talk to handsome YouTubers, okay? Be safe out there.
I'll try. I'll try. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Last call. Last call of the day. Last call. Who's going to be the last person to call and talk to Strategic about this horrible, heart-wrenching case? Do we got one more person? We have one more person who wants to come in, show that love, and talk to me and end the show with me. And you really will be appreciated. I love this format. I think this is really awesome. We're going to do this more often. If you like this format, please put a thumbs up inside of the chat. Let me know that you like this so we could do it again, because this is awesome. I'm having a grand old time talking to you people. I have not spoken to one caller yet that I could say, oh, this person's unintelligent. This person, gave a bad comment. This person, was mean or disrespectful. I know I cracked jokes on the caller before this recent caller because she asked me what my first name was. I'm just joking with her. I really appreciate her taking the time to call and support the channel. But I really am enjoying this, and I see those thumbs up streaming in, so I think you guys are enjoying it too, and we'll do it again. We'll do it often. So you got one more chance, guys, and we're going to do it like this. Oh, my watch is dead. It's one thing when you got these digital watches. They die relatively quickly. What's the time? Where am I at? So at my vantage, it's now 2 hours and 33 minutes and 01. If I don't get a call in here by 2:35, 2 hours and 35 minutes, that's 2 minutes from now, less than 2 minutes, we're going to end the show. And it's all good if we end the show. I'm not upset if nobody else calls in. Sometimes people just like, hey, everything I wanted to say was already said. So what's the point? If you want to call in for the last caller, if you want to ask me anything, you don't even have to talk about Maddie. For the last caller, you want to ask me anything within reason, you can ask me. just for my own personal safety. It's not like I have anything to hide. I've already showed press conferences, cases online to people who've been my longtime subscribers. I've proven that I'm a real person and I'm really in law enforcement. I don't say my full name because there's a lot of crazy people out there, and I don't want my family to get hurt. I have a young family. I don't want to be stalked and harassed. So if you want to ask me personal details about me, I will not answer you. But if you want to ask me anything work related or something to that effect, I will answer you those questions. You want to ask me investigative questions, I will answer those questions. You want to talk about some of my experience, I will answer those questions. You want to talk about Maddie, I will answer those questions. Everything but my personal life is off limits. I only share what I want to share, and I share about my personal life often with you guys, but it's what I'm comfortable sharing. So somebody said, what's the number? The number is pinned to the chat, and that number is 518-639-6283. Aki just put it in the chat. So if you want to call in, hurry up because the time is running out. So we got 50 seconds. We got 10 seconds to go if you want to call in. I'll give you guys a little bit more than 10 seconds, but if I don't get a call soon, I'm going to get the hell up out of here. So Sally Curran, if you want to call, now's the time to call in. And if you don't want to call, okay. All right. So whoever you are the last call. I know there's another person who tried to call in, but you have made the cut. You are the last call. So I want to ask you, what is your name? And when I ask people their names, you can very well just give me a fake name. It's okay. What's your name?
My name's Erin.
All right, Erin. I like that name. It's a nice name. Where are you calling from, Erin?
Thank you. I am from Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina. I love it. Charlotte is a nice town. There's some tragedies in Charlotte. I always covered true crime. And I've, for some reason, throughout my career on YouTube, I've covered a lot of tragic crimes that happen in Charlotte. But whatever. What brings you to the show today, Erin?
Well, I've kind of got a theory, and I think, other people have definitely thought of this. And but I think it's possible, if not probable, that Stefan had the stupidity to film his final act, per se, with Maddie, because he was on Telegram at like maybe 4 a.m. I think it's possible that he could have sold that video as well, because why wouldn't he? He's a scumbag,
It's possible.
Pardon my French.
It is possible. And Telegram does have the ability to facilitate transactions for content. And I'm sorry if my nose sounds stuffy. My nose is very stuffy. So I'm sorry about that. But it does have that ability. No. It does. So it is possible he did that. When I see tripod and the lube and all that stuff that was found inside of that room, I'm definitely believing that he was creating CSAM content for distribution.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe it. Now, the thing is, the evidence so far is not showing it. Because we would then, all right, so Telegram is a secure platform, but they've already secured his bank accounts and his CashApp, his PayPal, and all that extra stuff. Why haven't we gotten that information that shows that these transactions were happening? Because obviously they're not happening with cash. It's electronic. So that's my issue. The other thing is, though, we got one set of documents. We got the 800-page dump, and that was a whole bunch of stuff. But it wasn't over. We ended up getting a 22-page dump. And the 22-page dump, we call it page, but they're PDF files, and each one of those files has 30, 40, 50, 100 pages. So the 22-page dump was really hundreds of pages of information. So I say that to say that it's not done yet. There still might be more information that will be released that might provide this evidence that shows that he was selling this material. My intuition tells me it, but so far the evidence and the proof does not show it.
Okay.
But it looks like everything he did showed that he was doing it. You got anything else?
No, I just appreciate you taking my call. I finally worked up the nerve to call in. I'm ES, and thanks for taking my call.
Well, thank you, ES, for calling in. And, it wasn't that bad, right? Some people are so afraid to hear their voice on the internet. Like, oh, my God, I sound so weird. How do you guys think I feel? You know? I'm over here. I'm like, damn, you sound like that, bro? What's wrong with you, man? Get some bass in your voice, bro. Why you sound like that? Appreciate you, ES. Have a wonderful night, all right?
You too. All righty. Thank you so much.
All right, peace. All right, people, you guys were awesome. I'm closing the app up, so there'll be no more calls. I'm sorry. We will do this again. We will do this again. I'll say it one more time. We will do it again. The only thing I need for you fine people to do right now is to hit the like button. Hit that like button to support the channel. Hit that like button so that we can get into that algorithm. We're at 490 likes right now. I'd like to see that get to 500 before I get out of here. We have 33 new members on this live stream alone. 33 new members on this live stream alone. This, I will say, was a successful live. I think it was very entertaining. I think it was very knowledgeable. I think you guys got something out of it. And then I think you guys made the show even better by coming on here and telling me with your own voice, your own expression, these excellent, excellent theories on the Maddie case. Every single caller had something probative to add. I'm very proud of you. Just shows how intelligent my audience is. You guys are amazing. Such intelligent, well-spoken, and astute people. You guys are great. Listen, if this is indicative of where this show is going, we're going to have a really good community, a really good show moving forward if you guys are the type of people who are watching my show. It's one thing to see you in the comment section. It's another thing to hear you with my own ears. You guys are awesome. I'm in good company, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in good freaking company, man. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Susan OG Murderino is now a Strategic Eyes fan member. Thank you for joining the family. All right, guys, make sure that you like and subscribe on the channel. Make sure that you go to the Strategic Eyes shop and you buy some of our merchandise. You can find that in the description section of every video that we post. And make sure that you hit that like button and you put something inside of the chat to show that the algorithm that you want this show to be advertised to other people. If you have nothing to say, ladies and gentlemen, at least say where you're calling from. Hit a thumbs up. Put a smiley face. It doesn't matter. It's all engagement. You don't have to say something groundbreakingly intelligent. You don't have to solve the Maddie case. You don't have to solve the Susan Boone case. You don't have to do none of that. Just put a thumbs up in the chat or say, I'm calling from Michigan. I like it when people say where they're calling from because it gets to show me how wide and how big our audience is. Just tell me where you're calling from and that's it. And that's engagement. And you're going to help the show grow and you're going to help the future of this show. So guys, you guys were great. I see you guys on the next one. Woo! Strategic is out of here. Wow, this has been a tough show, man. Almost 3 hours I gave you guys. I'm exhausted. See you guys in the next one. Peace!